What's up, everybody? Are we live? It says we are. It fucking says we are. So I'm gonna go with it. Okay. Yeah, we got the new setup. We got the new sitch. It's looking pretty good. Gonna pop out the old chat. I love those obscure deck ideas. I love those obscure deck ideas. I love. I want to know how to make my stream look better. Because on my computer it looks great. It looks like 4K. It looks great. Oh. But then on my stream it doesn't look great. You know, it looks a little pixely. Looks a bit pixely to me. It's just me. I gotta pop this chat out. What's good, LJL? How we doing? There we go. What's good? We got actual room now. We got actual room around the lunge. Room to lunge. I mean, come on. Who doesn't like a nice lunge? A nice midstream lunge. Doing well. Definitely not going through and switching the printings of my whole deck right now, so it looks prettier. Ooh, that's fun though. That's good. Hell yeah, new setup looking clean. Thank you, thank you. Oh, thank you, thank you. Let me get my stream up here. Does that fit up there? You don't have to get rid of all my other stuff. Oh. That does work. Cool. All right. What's going on, guys? Welcome to Friday Night Deck Reviews. Today we've got Ferrous, General Ferrous, and Arna, Kennerud Sky Captain. Both going to be cool. I'm not really sure what to expect on either one of these. I'm going in blind. So, yeah, this is where the chat comes in handy. Going to do some card suggestions, going to do overall deck reviews. And recently we've started doing actual deck review videos. So I said Tuesday in the video, I meant Wednesday. So every Wednesday, the Wednesday after Friday Night Deck Reviews, we'll upload a Friday Night Deck Reviews video. It's not going to just be a clipped down version of the stream. It's going to be a completely new recorded video where I can actually get some fresh new eyes on the deck, actually suggest some good suggestions, some improvements, some cards to take out, whatever you want me to do on the forum. So yeah, expect that too. So if you want to submit a deck, you can become a patron or a YouTube member for as low as $1. And that's that little spiel. And past that, let's look at these decks. So the first deck we're going to look at is Quasi Crafter's Arna Kennerud Sky Captain deck. Can you guys hear me okay? Am I loud? Am I quiet? What's the consensus? Dude, the deck review videos are going to be so cool. I'm also working on something with the stream you reviewed, my Leona deck. Volume is good. You're working on something with the stream you reviewed my Leona deck. Hey, cool. Cool. I like when people work on shit. Volume's good. Good to hear. Okay. So our first deck, let's switch over the view here. Boop. That should be good. Okay. Quasi Crafter submits an Arna Kennerud Sky Captain deck. I think Kennerud. Oh, it says funny, so that has to be that. Strategy: either go wide or go tall, depending on the circumstances. Sounds like Kennerud. Love that. Optimize casual. Love that. Make really big unblockable creatures is the win condition, or make a lot of creatures. Both fantastic. Favorite interaction: make copies of Pact Weapon to stay alive by a threat. Ooh, that's gross. Making copies of Pact Weapon. Put it on a lifelinker such as Arna to negate the downside. Yikes. That's actually really gross. I might want to pick one of those up. What do I hope to get from this review? To show off my deck and get some new card recommendations. And Quasi Crafter is a Patreon member. Big thanks to Quasi Crafter. he submitted a deck on Architect or something like that, and I have my stuff formatted for Moxfield, so I just transferred the deck over to Moxfield. But I also have a Arna deck, so I might be able to get some suggestions here. Pretty decent suggestions. Making sure this stream's still working. There we go. Okay. If you don't know what Arna does, she's an absolute unit. 2, a white, a blue, and a black for a 4/4 flying lifelink. Ward, discard a card. Whenever a modified creature you control attacks, double the number of each kind of counter on it. Then for each non-token permanent attached to it, create a token that's a copy of that permanent attached to that creature. So if you have equipment on it, you get token copies of that equipment, and they equip immediately. If you have auras on it, you get copies of those auras. If you have 1/1 counters, you get copies of those 1/1 counters. If you have indestructible counters, you get copies of those. If you had shield counters, you get copies of those. Yeah, it's disgusting. Arna's very, very busted. She kind of went under the radar a little bit when she dropped for some reason. She's kind of having a resurgence, I feel like. I don't know if I have anything to do with that. I'm not sure. But I love this commander. One of my favorite commanders. Hey, Quasi Quapt is in the chat. Hell yes. What's going on, my guy? I get on a plane in 25 minutes, but I will watch for as long as I can. Morning, I have work and I'm on a public bus, so you're muted. Just came by to say hello. We got trains, planes, and automobiles in the chat, dude. What is up, everybody? Land, air, and sea are watching Nick's Lotus, dude. Quasi, we'll try to get through some stuff then. If there's any like extra additional points you want to make about your deck in chat, feel free to do it, my guy. Okay, so first thing is this battle. I want to take a look at this. Invasion of New Capenna. A white and a black for a battle. When invasion enters the battlefield, you may sacrifice an artifact or a creature. When you do, exile target artifact or creature an opponent controls. It's pretty good, actually. And then it turns into Holy Frazzle Cannon. Okay. An equipment that equips for 1. Whenever a equipped creature attacks, put a 1/1 counter on that creature and each other creature you control that shares a creature type with it. Holy Frazzle Cannon's right. Somebody get on a boat real quick. Somebody better hop on a boat immediately so we can get all the bases covered. I'm going to immediately save this picture and yeah, pick one of these up. Because that's incredible. That is such a good card in my deck. It's not even funny. Well, my deck's Arna, so. Great pickup. I didn't even think about running this. That's super good. Alayla is a card I've considered running a couple times. I might try her again because I am going for a similar tokeny strategy. So being able to make 1/1s when you cast artifacts or enchantments and then giving all your stuff with flying 1/0, it's going to be good. Archon of Sun's Grace is going to turn your enchantments into 2/2 Pegasuses, and your Pegasuses have flying and they also have lifelink. It itself is a 3/4 flying, so if you're trying to throw equipments and auras on stuff, flying lifelinkers are a pretty good option for that. Armored Sky Hunter helps you dig for auras and equipments. Bronze Walrus, when it enters the battlefield, scries you 2, and then you can tap it for any color mana. I totally get it. He's a cute little walrus, dude. I don't need more reason than that. Alayla's a fresh addition, so I'm not sure how she plays. Let me know how she plays, because I tried her a couple times, but I really don't think I actually got to test her. I just took her out because I had recently had an Alayla deck. So I was like, been there. But now that it's been a while, I'm like, I'm feeling another wave of Alayla. Drana's fantastic. I love this. I run this in my Arna deck. 1 and 2 black for a 2/3 first strike. Flying, when it deals combat damage to a player, put a 1/1 counter on each other creature you control that's attacking. I hate hiccups, dude. Drana's fantastic. Buff your whole board with modifications so you can double them with Arna. Sure. Idle on a Countless Battles. Idle on a Countless Battles. I actually have my binders tucked away still in the box. This is another one that I want to run in my deck because it will immediately pop off. You get 2 of these and you're just like, oh, wait a second. It's huge. Bronze Walrus has been the #1 card on the chopping block for so long, but I just can't bring myself to pull the trigger. That's literally the exact sentiment when I was like, I get it. I totally get it, dude. I have cards like that where I'm like, I just can't do it. Like if I owned a Signal Pest, I traded in all my bulk, including Signal Pest and all that, because I was like, I can't not run it. I love that card. It's okay, you know what I mean? It's not great. But it is my Bronze Walrus, I understand. Ghostly Dancer is another cool one. It turns your enchantments into 3/1 spirits with flying, as well as returning an enchantment from your graveyard to hand or unlocking a room when it enters. Pretty good. And plus, it's a flyer. Anything that interacts with the enchantments you're going to be playing in this deck, which I'm assuming we're going to be playing a good chunk, is going to be good. And then if that thing is a flyer in a deck where you're copying buff cards, that's going to be good. Commander Sphere is still a good card, and I'll die on that hill. I actually agree with you. In casual commander, dude, if your commander doesn't cost like 2 or 3 mana and it costs 4, 5, 6, I still think Commander Sphere is fine. You know what I mean? I think it's like actually like if you're gonna run Mind Stone in those specific decks with higher mana cost, it's like Commander Sphere can just add the mana and draw you the card on the same turn. My buddy still runs Commander. My buddy Logan still runs Commander Sphere. Possibly my other buddy Nate, if I'm not mistaken. I know the last time I played against Logan, he dropped one, and I was like, damn, he has 5 mana next turn, so it's still just a mana rock. And then he cracked it to draw a card and added the mana, and I was like, yeah, it's definitely not bad. Like, there's going to be a day where the 2-drop Command Sphere gets dropped. It's going to be nuts. Ginger Brute, just some good evasion. If you can throw counters, equipments, auras on it, then you just get guaranteed damage. Harnessed Snubbern, 3 and a white for a 2/5 vigilance. When Harnessed Snubbern deals combat damage to a player, return target artifact or enchantment from your graveyard into your hand. That's good. Kitesail Larcenist, 2 and a blue for a 2/3 flying ward 1. When Kitesail Larcenist enters the battlefield, for each player, choose up to 1 target artifact or creature that player controls. For as long as Kitesail Arsonist remains on the battlefield, the chosen permanents become treasures that they can sacrifice for mana and lose their abilities. Each player, you just get to turn off 3 creatures when this enters. Now, hold up. You were talking about making token copies of stuff. Making token copies of Kitesail Larcenist seems busted. It's gross. Harness Snubbern returns the card to the battlefield. Does it really? Oh. Whoa, I did not know that. I feel like I've read this card 3 or 4 times and always read hand. Wow. Harnessed Snubbern coming out. Core Spirit Dancer, 1 and a white for a 0/2. It gets +2/+2 for each aura attached to it. Whenever you cast an aura, you may draw a card. So we're doing some good aura synergies here. Ledger Shredder is another one I run in my deck. Absolutely great. You get 1/1 counters, drawing cards, filtering out cards on a flyer. Yeah. Light Paws, good aura tutor. Lion Sash is actually a great equipment because you can make copies of Lion Sash, and Lion Sash gets counters on it. So you can double the counters on Lion Sash with Arna, which will also inherently double the amount of 1/1s it's giving to the thing equipped to Lion Sash, which then you can make more copies of when you attack if it's equipped. It's really good. Lion Sash is really good. And you exile stuff from people's graveyard. I need to get a Lion Sash and put it in mine. Mine's going for more of a token 1/1 counter thing, but still Lion Sash is good removal. It still has the 1/1 counter thing. That's a really good card. Lion Sash is super cool. Yeah, it is. I like that a lot. Optimistic Scavenger Light Paws. She absolutely runs away with the game the moment she comes down, and she feels like a real power outlier. Yeah, she's one of those commander slash cards that's like, yeah, she's just extremely good. Like, yeah, Light Paws is an extraordinarily good card. If it feels that way, dude, you might maybe you cut it. Who knows? Might have some suggestions that make you want to cut it. Optimistic Scavenger gets a 1/1 counter whenever you cast an enchantment. Oh, on target creature whenever you cast an enchantment. That's really good in here. Rafine's great. Gives all your stuff connive when it attacks. Love that. Reluctant Role Model's fantastic. I've got this one in my list as well. It gets 1/1 counters, flying counters, lifelink counters, and then when it dies, moves its counters onto other stuff. And also it does that for other creatures you control too, not just it, which is busted for a 50-cent card, but sure. Rosy Cotton can turn tokens into 1/1 counters on target creature. Extraordinarily good. Actually, do I not run Rose? This is enough for me to check. Hold on a second. Oh, my deck's in the other room. I'll be right back. No. Ugh. That is a huge mistake. Also, Rafine definitely needs to go in my deck as well. Wait, does it say non-token? Yeah, Rafine needs to go in my Arna list as well. What the hell? It's amazing. I feel like if I don't have a Rosy Cotton, that's crazy. Because that is very good. It's getting 1/1 counters for making tokens. Kind of my whole deal. Wow, it doesn't look like I do. Reluctant Role Model. I've got Skrelv's hiding here, but I don't have... Wow. I don't run Rosy Cotton. Okay, well, this is going to be a nice little upgrade for my Arna list. I need to pick up a Rosy Cotton. That's amazing. Ooh, yeah, Rosie and Anim Pakal seems disgusting. Rotten Mouth is very good. That's a card I put in my list. I took out Rotten Mouth for a very similar reason that you were thinking about taking out Light Paws, because it just kept coming out for really cheap in my token deck, and then it just kept hitting like 4, 5, 6 blight counters very fast, and then it was just like, oh, yeah, you guys all discard your hands, and you guys all lose your boards, and you guys all, yeah, it was really good. It's disgusting. You can sack any number of creatures to make it cost 1 less when it enters or attacks. Put a blight counter on it. For each blight counter on it, each opponent loses 4 life unless that player sacrifices a non-land permanent or discards a card. Yeah, so you just get like a Torment of Hailfire for like each counter on it. It's really gross. Oh wow, Optimistic is only 1 mana. I would have expected to be more than 1 mana, right? Right? I would have expected that to be a 2 or 3 drop. Or if it's 1 mana, I would have expected it to give the counter to itself. It's crazy that it does neither, and it's a 1 drop. It's really, really good. Strike Force. 2 and a white for a 1/3 flying, double strike vigilance. I like this. That's actually sick. What do you... Oh, I guess you're just throwing equipments on this, right? But it doesn't have lifelink. It has double strike, though. That's nice. I feel like you could get something better than this. I have some suggestions after this video, or after this, to maybe replace. Slumbering Keep Guard. 1 white for a 1/1 whenever an enchantment enters the battlefield under your control. Scry 1. 2 and a white. Slumbering Keep Guard gets 1/1 until end of turn for each enchantment you control. I think I've sent Cut Strike Force for something else, but I can't remember what. Gotcha. Slumbering Keep Guard's cool. How good is this thing when you play it? It seems like it can get chump blocked really easy. But the Scry one's pretty cool. For 1 mana. I mean, SRAM turns your auras into card draw. Starfield Vocalist. If a permanent entering the battlefield causes an ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time for $1.50. And it's got Warp. Ooh, okay, I'm gonna save that one too. It's very cheap. That's a very good card. I mean, the Scry value is what it's there for. It puts the work in there. Yeah, it seems like the Scry is really good. You just get to fix your deck passively. Through the Enchanter, of course. You get to search your deck for auras and put them right on the field. That's perfect in this list. Sorceries. Kaya's Wrath. 2 white, 2 black. Destroy all creatures. You gain life equal to the number of creatures you controlled that were destroyed this way. It's pretty cool. Requisitioner Raid, one of my favorites. You can either do 1 plus an additional white to destroy an artifact, plus an additional, plus an additional 1 to destroy an artifact, plus an additional 1 to destroy an enchantment, plus an additional 1 put a 1/1 counter on each creature target player controls. Ooh, yeah, that's a very good one. What do you usually search for? Is there something in particular, or is it more toolboxy? Ooh, good question. Good question, LJL. Man, I'm thirsty. Okay. United Battlefront. 3 and a white for a sorcery. Look at the top 7 cards of your library. Pick up to 2 non-creature, non-land permanents with mana value 3 or less and put them onto the battlefield. So auras and equipments, yeah, sure. Aura of the battle, I guess you could do that too. Winds of Wrath, another board wipe. Instance, we got Counterspell, Dawn's Truth for protection, Generous Gift for removal, Void and Red for removal. And then now we're getting into the spice, the artifacts and enchantments. Dude, United Battlefront is awesome. I love to see this here. It is a cool card. I haven't seen that one. It is it's a cool little piece. Usually either removal, Sheltered by Ghost, fair enough, or evasion. Most things that grant evasion also have card They're all stapled on. I don't think I have Sheltered by Ghost in here either. What am I doing? Maybe I do. Maybe I do. You're making me, like, doubt myself now, dude. You keep having such good picks. I'm like, wait, do I not have that? I feel like I do. I swear I offered someone at the shop my Sheltered by Ghost last time I was there. Or maybe I'm just imagining things. Wow, really? Well, I need to get a Sheltered by Ghost immediately as well. That's crazy. Let me just save that right now so I can remember. Okay. Artifacts, Arcane Signet. Assimilation Aegis is one that I ran for a little bit but took out. All my stuff was just so small. I didn't have any, like, crazy stuff to copy. Oh, I guess it exiles something and copies it. That's pretty good. And then you just make copies of Assimilation Aegis. I might try putting this one back in too. Man, you got me one to, like, add a bunch of stuff back in. Azorius Signet, good mana ramp, Blade of Shared Souls. 2 in a white, or 2 in a blue for a 4 mirrored in equipment. When it enters, you get a 2/2 red rebel that it attaches to. When it becomes attached to a creature, for as long as Blade of Shared Souls remains attached to it, you may have that creature become a copy of another creature you control. That was the one I was thinking of. I took this one out because I had 2 smaller creatures. I did also take out a Simulation Engine for Aegis, but I'm thinking about putting that one back in. That seems great. Candlestick. I've never seen this. 1 blue for an equipment. Whenever a equipped creature... Wait, no. Equipped creature gets 1/1 and has whenever this creature attacks Surveil 2. Pay 2, sacrifice it, draw a card, equip 2. Yeah, you can just make a bunch of free blue tokens, essentially. That also give a buff and Surveil. That seems good. Cold Steel Heart, some good mana ramp. Command Sphere. There it is, baby! Some mana ramp. Cryptic Coat. 2 in a blue for an equipment. When it comes into play, cloak the top card of your library, then attach Cryptic Cloak to it. Equipped creature gets +1/+0 and can't be blocked. Pay 1 in a blue, return Cryptic Coat to its owner's hand. That's really good. That's a great one. You just get a bunch of free cloaked creatures that you can cheat into play that have ward and then unblockable. Ooh, Cryptic Coat might be another one I need. That unblockable is what's selling it for me. I like that. Decanter, good mana ramp. Demir, good mana ramp. Felwar, good mana ramp. Leyline Axe, 4 for an equipment. If this card is in your opening hand, you may start the game with it in play. Equipped creature gets 1/1 double strike and trample. Equip for 3. Sure. Yeah, I mean, if that's in your opener, that's really busted in this deck. Nettle Cyst is one that's disgusting. Equipped creature gets 1/1 for each artifact and enchantment you control. Yeah. Network Terminal. It's a mana rock that you can tap an untapped artifact you control to draw a card, then discard a card. It's kind of cool. Huh. I actually don't hate that in, like, a Reanimator deck. Just to, like, get big stuff out of your hand. Like on a mana rock. That's cool. Orzhov Signet, good mana rock. Pact Weapon is the card Quasi was talking about in his submission. 3 in a black for an artifact equipment. As long as Pact Weapon is attached to a creature, you don't lose the game for your life being 0 or less. Whenever a equipped creature attacks, draw a card and reveal it. The creature gets +X until end of turn, and you lose X life, where X is that card's mana value. Equipped, discard a card. So he was saying you put this on Arna. Since Arna has lifelink, you pretty much mitigate the... No, you don't pretty much. You do mitigate the life loss because you reveal a 6-drop, you lose 6, but then Arna will get +6/+6, so you will gain the 6 back because of lifelink. So you're just completely mitigating that effect. And then in Arna, you can just make more and more pack weapons. So it's just harder and harder for you to lose the game. Yeah, it's really gross. That's another one that I'm like, yeah. I might need a packed weapon. That's pretty good. I can't believe everybody was talking about Vorpal Blade as much as they did. And then packed weapon was just like, packed weapon's sick. Swiftfoot Boots and the Serima. 1 and 2 white for a space shuttle or spacecraft. When the Serima enters, search your library for a legendary creature, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. What are you grabbing with this? Let me know. And then station, you can tap an untapped creature you control to put a charge counter equal to its power on this spacecraft. Activate if it's a sorcery. It's an artifact creature at 7+. And then at 7+, it becomes a 5/5 flying. Other tapped legendary creatures you control have indestructible. So good protection for your commander if you're just going balls to the wall, which we are. and then being able to, are there any of these spaceships that like scale with the amount of counters they have on them, like the station counters, like indefinitely? Because you could do some crazy stuff with Arna with that. That would be a cool thing to check out. Okay. Enchantments. All the glitters give 1/1 for each artifact enchantment. Aqueous Form's good evasion. Builder's Tax is 1 and a white for a class. At level 1, when it comes into play, you get a 0/4 white wall. At level 2, whenever one or more non-creature, non-land permanents you control enter, put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. That's really good. That's perfect in this deck, actually. 4 and a white for level 3. When this class becomes level 3, return target non-creature, non-land permanent card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Perfect. This is a really good card in this deck. Jeez. Leyline Axe is pure aura farming. I have the borderless full art version. Zarima is just solidity toolboxy. Gotcha. There's also, or there's the Eternity Elevator, but it can't block attack, unfortunately. Damn. That would be sick. Always trying to get us Arna players, dude. Chains of Custody. Enchant creature you control. When Chains of Custody enters the battlefield, exile target non-land permanent and opponent controls until Chains of Custody leaves. Enchant creature has Ward 2. That's going to be a great one in here. I need to get one of those as well. Chorrel of the Void. 3 and a black for an enchantment aura. Enchant creature you control. When enchanted creature attacks, put target creature card from defending player's graveyard onto the battlefield under your control, tapped and attacking. That's really good in here. At the beginning of your end step, sacrifice this aura unless a non-land permanent left the battlefield this turn or a spell was warped this turn. This is very good. That's an incredible card. Wow. I might need to run that into Vol. I like that. Put that onto Vol. Pretty gross. Combat research. Good card draw on an aura. We like that. Dog Umbra. Oh. Holy shit, man. That could have been a lot worse. It's got a big ass picture fall on a glass desk. But surprisingly, nothing happened. Damn. I'm moving this over here. Could have been so much worse. It bashed into the back of my fucking monitor too. I could have broken my desk and my monitor. It could have been a 2 for 2. We're good. We're fucking good, LJL. Yorsum just summoned something on me right there when he joined. Classic Yorsum. New setup for the boss. Yeah, new setup, dude. And then the freaking painting almost wiped my glass desk and my monitor out immediately. That would have sucked goings. Okay. Endless Evil. Equipment or enchantment aura. Enchant creature you control. At the beginning of your upkeep, create a token that's a copy of enchant creature, except it's a 1/1. Gross. When enchant creature dies, if that creature was a horror, return Endless Evil to its owner's hand. Yeah, we don't care about the horror thing, but that first part's real good. Yeah, buddy, I bring the bad luck. No. You just bring the thunder. Oh, did you change your setup? It looks great. Thank you, buddy. Yeah, I moved rooms. We got more room now. We can actually got so much room for activities. Looking good. Feeling good. Psyduck chilling. Nyx Lotus has a thing we like to call the Earth Paradox, where whatever can happen will. Hello. Lose that piece of paper. Is gone. That piece of paper will never be seen again. Everyone in the chat drop a like. We need to shoot these likes up to 9 right now. Spencer Eddington. Almost missed you, you handsome motherfucker. Oh, stop it. Spencer. Spencer, your sweetest peach cobbler. Reminds me of Wendigoon. Stop it, Hunter. Hunter, stop. Okay. Flight of Fancy is another one that I took out, but I might put back in. This is pretty cool. I don't know. I don't know. 3 in a blue. Enchant creature has flying. When it enters, draw 2 cards. So if you're making copies of this with Arna, you're drawing 2 cards per attack, which is pretty good. Glasswing Grace is very good, just being a black-white land that has an aura that gives 2/2 and lifelink and flying. Yeah, I might need to add that one too. That's really good. Light Form. Light Form. 1 and 2 white for an enchantment. When it enters the battlefield, it becomes an aura with enchant creature. Manifest the top card of your library and attach Light Form to it. Enchant creature has flying and lifelink. Yeah, that's pretty good. I like that. Yorsum. I love Wendigoon. Same, dude. I like Wendy. I made Wendy a Mothman deck. And then he never watched it. Yeah. Who would though? Moonlit Meditation. 2 in a blue. Enchant artifact or creature you control. The horn works. Why don't I check the lights? You know what movie that's from? You're an OG. You're an OG. How do I submit a list? You can become a YouTube member or Patreon member. Starts as low as $1, dude. Starts as low as $1. Yeah, lowest price point or entry point is $1, and you'll gain access to the. Oh, Quasi, you're boarding the airplane. Good luck, my guy. Have a good flight. Moonlit Meditation. The first time you would create 1 or more tokens each turn, you may instead create that many tokens that are copies of enchanted permanent. What? Wait. So if I have multiple Moonlit Meditations, does that stack? So if I have 3 of these in play from Arna, I would imagine it does, and I made 3 tokens, would I get 9 tokens that are copies of either 3 different enchanted things or the same? Well, it'd have to be the same enchanted thing. Would I get 9 copies of that enchanted thing now? Like 3 triggers per Moonlit Meditation? I feel like you'd be able to choose, but you wouldn't get multiples. Really? I feel like you would. I think it stacks. I think if you had 3 of these on a creature, and you created a 1/1 elf, I think you would get 3 of that creature instead of the token. It says you may instead. And then each one of these Moonlit Meditations would trigger. Right? Right? Or am I wrong? Bad time for Quasi to dip. Sage's Reverie is one that I took out because it was drawing me too many cards. I know that sounds like a weird problem. When it enters the battlefield, draw a card for each aura you control that's attached to a creature. It gets 1/1 for each aura you control. Yeah, with Arna, this quickly gets out of hand to where you're like, oh, I'm going to be drawing 15 cards next time I swing. You're pretty much winning by then, but it's also a thing where it's like, I don't know. It was a little too... People just, like, smoked it immediately. Or smoked the thing it was attached to. Sheltered by Ghost. Great card. 1 and a white for an enchantment aura. Enchant creature gets 1/0, lifelink, and ward, and when it enters, you exile a non-land permanent an opponent controls until it leaves. If you have 3 Moonlit Meditations, you'll get 1 trigger for each. If you have 3 and make 1 token, you can make 3 copies of the enchanted creature. Oh, that's so good. It's not a trigger, it's a replacement effect, so they would replace the effect once for each aura, but each time the number of total tokens you're making remains the same. Oh, yeah, it remains the same each time, but you'd make 3. You'd make, like, whatever amount per aura. That's really good. Yeah, Moonlit Meditation's great. Shielded by Faith, the good indestructible aura. Twisted Embrace is another one that's fantastic. Good removal that's on an aura. Just straight up destruction. And then Unquestioned Authority. 2 and a white for an aura. When it enters, draw a card. Enchant creature has protection from creatures. This one's a little weird because all you're really getting off of it is card draw. Because past the first one, it's like, there's no point in putting multiple on the same thing. I don't think you get more the more auras you have. Oh, really? Synidesia. If you go to Patreon or the YouTube members page, there will be a Google form that you'll have access to, and then it'll be a whole thing full of like questions and info that you could submit to the deck submission list. Don't fall off, you son of a bitch. Oh, it's gonna fall off right now. What are we doing here? Oh! I smoked my other monitor over here. How do I submit a list? Quasicrafter. I'm reading Moonlit Meditation now. I think you're right. You wouldn't get extras. Oh, LJL just gave us the smackdown. Damn. I'm not going to pick one of those up then. Unquestioned Authority seems, I don't know, good, but it's kind of redundant off the first one. But that might be one I would take out. Adagia Windswept Bastion. It's another station land for a white. You can pay 3 and a white. Once it's at 12 counters, create a token that's a copy of target artifact or enchantment you control, except it's a legendary. Activate only as a sorcery. Sure. That's good to have on a land. I like having that on a land. No Rogue's Passage? Why no Rogue's Pass? That's my first thing. Rogue's Passage. First suggestion. Rogue's Passage. If you didn't hear him, you can sign up to be a YouTube member or a Patreon. Then you'll have access to Google form where you can submit a deck. Thank you, LJL. Target creature can't be blocked. Yeah, that's fantastic in here. So Rogue's Passage is my first one. I have a bunch of suggestions. You might have already seen my Arna deck list, so I'll try to take out or give some suggestions of like more recent inclusions that I've added to the list. Because I think there have been a couple new things. So let me look. So you're going for much more of an artifact and enchantment list, though, leaning much more heavily into the aura side of it. You got some good equipments in here, but you've got like a ton of good auras. So you're definitely leaning more into the artifact, or more towards the aura side, sub-theme of artifacts. You've also got a token theme going on with 1/1 counter. You're doing all the Arna stuff. So let me see what I could suggest to you. Just some like curveball ones. I'm gonna give you some weird ones from my deck. Let's see what you think of them. There's also now Secret Tunnel in addition to Rogue's Passage. It's a little more restrictive, but there's a decent number of humans in the deck. Was that not what the... Oh, wait, Escape Tunnel. This is Secret Tunnel? What is that? I don't think I've seen that before. Now I'm excited. Secret Tunnel? 2 target creatures you control that share a creature type can't be blocked this turn. Holy shoist. This land can't be blocked? Oh, for like earthbending? That's so cool. This is fantastic. Holy this is one of my first cards I want from Avatar. That's one of the first cards I've gotten excited about from Avatar. I have not seen that. Oh, yeah. I like that. That is good. Okay, I'm going to give you a couple curveball suggestions and then a couple of my favorites that I run in here. Just to give you a little smorgasbord. And if you guys have any suggestions in the chat, please drop them. Please let us know. Okay. So, the couple kind of weirder left field suggestions that I want to recommend just because I really like them and I feel like a lot of Arna decks don't utilize them enough. Crawling Barrens. It enters on tap, taps for a waste, so it's just a good land, just on tap, just a land. You can pay 4 and put 2 1/1 counters on it and have it become a 0/0 elemental until end of turn that's still a land. So in Arna, you activate this once attack, it's a 4/4. You paid 4 mana for a 4/4 land that entered on tap. That's not a bad going rate. And then the turn after that, you activate it again. It's not going to become an 8/8. You're going to get 2 more counters, so it'll be a 6/6, then double, be a 12/12. And then it'll be 28/28 on a land. That's insane. And then again, if you throw in the Rogue's Passage, you have the Crawling Barrens Rogue's Passage line now. So it's like all I need is Arna, and I can still win the game with lands, which is very nice. One of my favorite things to do in this list. So many of my creatures have evasion, and so many of my modifiers grant evasion that giving something unblockable is often redundant. That's actually fair. That actually is fair. Crawling Barrens might be something to consider, though. I like that card a lot. Secret tunnel through the mountains. Oh, man. Oh, man, is that, The Hobbit? What is that? Okay, what was the other thing? Intrude on the Mind is also one of my newer ads that I really like in my Arna list. 3 and 2 blue for an instant. Reveal the top 5 cards of your library and separate them into 2 piles. An opponent chooses one of those piles. Put that pile into your hand and the other into your graveyard. Create a 0/0 colorless Thopter artifact creature token with flying. Then put a 1/1 counter on it for each card put into your graveyard this way. So, yeah. You're going to get one of your piles. You make it difficult either way. Just 2 bad decisions for your opponent. They'll give you one of them. So you're going to get card advantage off this thing, a good 2 or 3 cards most of the time. And then you'll get a evasive token that with 1/1 counters. All that built in. You just get a token, it has evasion, and it has built-in 1/1 counters. All at instant speed, and you get to draw cards. Really like this card. Intrude on the Mind is hilarious. We'll definitely consider. It's one of my favorites to run in my list. I really, really like it. Some more on-the-nose suggestions. Cosmonaut is insane. 2 and a white, 2/4. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, choose one. Create 2 1/1 white human creature tokens, or put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. Pretty gross. You either get to just do the 1/1 counter thing, or do the token thing. It's either thing you want to be doing. That's a new ad that I've really liked. Another ad that I've really liked is Halaya. Whenever Halaya or another creature or artifact, extra good in your deck, you control enters, you gain 1 life. At the beginning of your end step, if you gained 3 or more life, draw a card, and it's got warp. So most of the time, it's just going to be a passive life gain, because you're going to be playing a ton of creatures, making tokens, and then you get to draw cards if you gain 3 or more life. That's been a really good swap out for one of my other card draw places. My favorite card in my Arna deck is Silent Hall Creeper, and I will rep this card in anyone that builds Arna till the day I die, because it's incredible. 1 and a blue for a 1/1 that can't be blocked. When it deals combat damage to a player, choose one that hasn't been chosen. You can either put 2 1/1 counters on Silent Hall Creeper. Oh, 2 counters, you say. You can draw a card, or you can have Silent Hall Creeper become a copy of another creature. That means it loses its other abilities, so you're going to want to do the copy thing last most of the time. So how this goes is you swing, you get 2 counters on it. Sick. You swing again. It goes up to being a 5/5, because Arna will double the counters. Draw a card. And then you swing again, and Arna will double it into being a 9/9, and then it'll become a copy of the best creature you control with 8 counters on it. Oh. That doesn't seem bad. For 2 mana, yeah. Definitely my favorite card in the deck. And then my second favorite card in my Arna list is Sinkhole Surveyor. 1 in a black for a 1/3 flying. When this creature attacks, you lose 1 life, and this creature endures. So you either create a 1/1 white spirit, or you put a 1/1 counter on this creature. And with it being a flyer, in Arna, this thing quickly becomes double digits, or you just create a ton of tokens when it swings. So both of those fantastic. LJL, have you considered Nazgul Battle Mace in Arna? It's a ton of mana, but still might be good. Nazgul Battle Mace. Ooh. 5 for an equipment. Equipped creature has Menace, Death Touch, Annihilator 1. Jeez. And whenever an opponent sacrifices a non-token permanent, put that card onto the battlefield under your control unless they pay 3. Equip for 3. Yeah, that's the thing. It costs a lot, but it's like once you get it on something in Arna, you're just getting free Battle Maces. And it's cool because they're the Nazgul, and that's probably the only reason this isn't legendary, is because there's like multiples of them. Oh man, if this was legendary, that would suck. But it's not. We can make copies of it. Yeah, that's a pretty good one. Pre-war new Yachty drop. Oh yeah? Is it good? Insanely hard. I'll have to check it out after this. What was it? Have you heard? Listen to Endless if you haven't. By Yachty, that's another good one. Pre-war formal wear, 2 and a white. Oh yeah, I picked one of these up as well. This is in my binder. I didn't end up putting it in. When this equipment enters, return target creature with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield and attach this equipment to it. Equipped creature gets +2/+2 and has vigilance. Ooh, but this would be a cool way to put it on Invisible Stalker in my deck, because Invisible Stalker's got Shroud. Wait, no, Invisible Stalker has Hexproof, doesn't he? Yeah, Invisible Stalker needs to go in your deck, dude. Are you kidding me? Put this in there. Throw all your counters and equipments and auras on this. As an aside, looking forward to release of Fishing Rod for this deck. Oh, is that like from the new set? Or is that, are you talking about the Final Fantasy one? I'm guessing you're reading this. Let me just... Whenever a equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, exile the top card of that player's library. If it's a permanent card, you may put it into the battlefield under your control. If you don't, create a 1/1 blue fish. Jeez, that's really good. Oh, that's a $100 card. That might not be what you're talking about. Maybe it is. That's nuts. Jeez Louise. Any more suggestions? Let me check back through here. Maybe I got something brewing. Pip-Boy 3000 is also a good equipment. I mean, if you want like a good equipment, like Blackblade Reforged is one of my favorite ones ever. Whenever a equipped creature attacks, choose one, draw a card, then discard a card, put a 1/1 counter on that creature, untap up to 2 lands. That is pretty good, actually. Wooden Dread suggests Arden, Intrepid Archaeologist. Arden. Intrepid Archaeologist. 2 and a white for a 2/2. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may attach any number of auras and equipments you control to target permanent or player. Ooh, that's great. Arden makes some of those more like weird, awkward enchantments, like the ones that just draw you like a unquestioned authority. That makes them way more useful. Now you can move those off something onto other stuff. I like that. That's a great suggestion. It's actually really good. Do you have any rogues? Just a question I like to ask people sometimes. Warlock, Knight, Ally. Whoa. Someone just subscribed. Bryson Jackson. Thank you for subscribing, my guy. What a sweetheart. Polywog Prodigy is another banger that I really can't suggest enough for people's decks. Especially this one. Nice with Polywog. Oh, it's 2 L's. 1 in a blue, 1/3 evolve. When you play a creature that has higher toughness or power, it gets a 1/1 counter. And whenever an opponent casts a non-creature spell with mana value less than Polywog Prodigy's power, draw a card. So once this gets a counter in Arna, you can just start doubling the counters and make it huge, and then anything anyone casts draws you a card, essentially. Yeah. One of the most bested card draws in the Arna list. I still think Polywog should be run more in CDH. It's just a little too slow for it, unfortunately. Oh, I could see that take. I've loved it. It's performed fantastic, but I do get that. I do get what you're saying. Wheezy. I get what you're saying. Oh, that was LJL. LJL, I get what you're saying. Oh, baby, I get it. All right. So those are my suggestions, but that's not going to be all my suggestions, all right, Quasi? All right. Because you're gonna get your own little deck highlight video uploaded in Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, 5 days. In 5 days on the channel, there will be a highlight video where I will have more suggestions for your deck once I've got some more time to sit with it. LJL states the clear, obvious take, though. It needs 1 additional Bronze Walrus, and I think you're pretty much set with this deck. So yeah. So yeah, check out the video on Wednesday, my guy. You will get more suggestions, a little bit more of an in-depth dive on it. Okay. Moving on from that, we have finished Quasi Quafta's deck, and we move on to LJL. I forgot this is your deck, my guy. Cool. I'm pumped. LJL has submitted a general Ferrous Rockrick deck that is a Boros aggro value deck. The strategy is play tons of Boros cards, build a big board of 4/4s, control with tons of removal, that also makes 4/4s. We like that. Sometimes storm off with some great interactions. It is optimized casual. How do we win? How do you say this guy's name? Ferrous? I'm going to say Ferrous. I feel like Ferrous might be his name. How you say it? How do you say it, LJL? Give me the little breakdown of how you say it. I want to say it how the decks Rocky Rick. I like that. I'm calling him Rocky Rick. Okay. Rocky Rick's tokens will generally win you the game, but some great pushes to make sure you win are Wildfire Awakener to make tons of 1/1s. Love me a good Wildfire Awakener. Blade Historian. Love that. Nyali. Love that. To give double strike. That's why you said you were going to talk about Nyali. Nice. Balefire Liege for big buff. Love Balefire. Sentinel Sarah Leones. Love that too for a big buff and direct damage. Gisela Blade of Gold Knight for, yeah, I get it. Master Warcraft, no blocks for you. I love all those options, by the way. Those are some cool card picks. Favorite interactions. This is probably my favorite deck I've ever made and can get into excruciating detail if given the time. So here are some of my favorites from the top. Invasion of Kylem. Multicolor battles are insane with Ferrous, or with, what do we call him? Rocky Rick? With Rocky Rick. Unfortunately, this is only one. I'm going to call him Ferrous. I'm not going to remember the Rocky Rick thing. Unfortunately, this is the only one I can run, and it's probably the best card in the deck to hit on curve. If we play this on turn 4 right after our commander and one opponent doesn't have a blocker, we can cast it, make a 4/4, give the 4/4 +2/+0 haste and vigilance, use it to attack the invasion. That's actually really good. Cast the flip side of the invasion, get 2 3/2s that will grow over time and another 4/4. Jeez. Wait. Wait. Is that how battles work? I don't run a lot of battles. Then cast it transformed. You're so big brain. I love that. That's nuts. That makes me want to build this deck. That's really cool, dude. Are you kidding me? Ferrous Rokurik. Okay, I'm gonna call him Ferrous. The token copy makers are for making more bronze walruses. Oh, fair. Quasi's already got that covered. You cast the other side of the battle, and since it's Boros on the other side, you get another Ferrous trigger. That's insane. That's such a cool interaction, dude. I love that. Invasion of Ravnica. For some reason, this deck loves battles. Just reading through this card, you'll know why it's incredible. Really good removal on the front side, insane card advantage on the back side, and generally wins us the game. Ragavan, yeah, Ragavan's in this deck, but that's because there are very few ways of getting Ferrous out on turn 2, which limits the deck significantly. That's fair. The few ways there are mana rings or mana ramp, there are the few things that are fast mana. I need to slow. Speaking of fast, I need to slow that down. Are Soul Ring, Ragavan, and that's it. And Ragavan seemed to be the most interesting out of all of them. Yep, that's fair. A Crone Hoplite, Alpine Houndmaster. A Crone Hoplite is the one that gains control of stuff when it's targeted. Am I remembering that right, or am I not? Houndmaster is really weird. Is a really weird card in the deck, but effectively it's another Crone Hoplite, and a Crone Hoplite is great. It's a cheap card that can get big attacks and triggers our commander. Okay, I'm not thinking of the right card. Oh yeah, get +X+0 until turn max the number of attack and create. Yeah, it just gets huge off your commander's tokens it makes, and it makes another thing off your commander. I like that a lot. It seems really good in there. Rem Kurlos, Stalwart Slayer. The card isn't great, but it's a flying blocker that can get in for damage right away, makes most of our removal slightly better, and saves us from Chandra's Ignition and Blasphemous Act. Oh, it prevents the non-combat. Okay, cool. Very niche card, but I have a hard time finding a good enough reason to cut it. Fair enough. Deafening Clarion. Lifelink is great, but dealing 3 damage to everything is great when we constantly make 4/4s. That's actually very true. I like that a lot. Ride Down, Fight to the Death, Justice Strike, Intimidation Bowl. All really interesting forms of removal in Boros that aren't usually played. I'm excited to take a look at those. Again, I could talk for hours about this deck. I could talk at length about every card, but why I put it in, and every game that I've played with it. That's really cool. I like that you're into this deck so much. I could talk about every Boros card I haven't put in the deck, and specifically why I haven't put it in yet. This deck has made me go through every single Boros card in the game multiple times, and makes me check out every Boros card that comes out. That's actually really a cool... Wow, that's a cool topic for a video, potentially. Like some real world reasons to build decks. You know what I mean? Like Ferrous, like keeps you engaged with newer sets. That's really cool. I like that a lot. Most decks do, but like that's cool to keep yourself updated on Boros cards specifically. I just like that. That's actually really sick. I love it so much. As always with my decks, check out the consideration tab as there are some juicy ones in there. What do you want from this review? To show off my deck, to get some new recommendations? What type of member are you? A YouTube member. I can tell my thing went on night mode again, and I hate that. There we go. Cool. The recommendations might be tough. We're not going to recommend any Boros cards, clearly. We might have some juices for you. Uh, Quasi Crafter gets it. I'm not a huge fan of creatures in Arna whose primary function is to make themselves big. My preferred playstyle is to generate and buff an army all at once. 100%. I think Cosmonaut would be a great ad then. That seems fantastic. Maybe a Feldar's Retreat. Turning your lands into 2/2 tokens or a 1/1 counter for your full board. That could be good too. Whenever we're in spoiler season, I'm constantly Scryfall searching for Boros cards, and I bet you're pumped whenever we get one. Okay, let's take a look at the actual deck here. All right, before we get into this officially, I'm going to go to the bathroom, grab a little snack. I'll be right back. Don't worry, don't worry. Talk to the deck creator in chat, dude. LJL, the guys here, the myth, the legends here. Thinking about how funny it would be if I locked the door behind me and closed it. I just like pop up in chat. Well, enjoy the stream. I won't be in it. My bad. Speaking of Boros cards, there are 4 new ones in Atla. I might put Jet in here as removal. That also adds a decent bit of power to the board. Lightning Helix is a primary removal spell or burst. Oh, hell yeah. Lightning Helix is amazing. I think I have 4 or 5 cards that are similar in the list. Lightning Helix, Sacred Fire, Integrity, Intervention, War Leader's Helix. War Leaders is so good. Fire Song and Sunspeaker. And then add more Lightning Helixes. This is the usual commander slippery slope. Yeah, you either end in Fire Song or Feather. Fair enough. I wanted to make a Blaze Commando PDH, but that's pretty much did that. Fair enough. Let me catch my breath, dude. I freaking hauled it. I hauled it just for you guys. I freaking alleywayed it just for you guys. Come on. Little transport. Little lane of transportation based joke. Come on. The perfect Boros deck is either Fire Song and Sunspeaker in the 99 Lightning Helix, or just 9 1-drop aggro cards, or a Feather the Redeem deck with a billion buff cards and a Zada. Oh, nice tea. There's caffeine in it, doesn't it? If it says it has tea in it, that just includes caffeine, right? Premium brewed black teas. Is that what that means? Just have it in there? Doesn't say it has it. It's making me sweat like it has it. Anybody else get that? We drink caffeine, you get that little adrenaline boost sweat line. Meteor Crater looks awesome. Thank you. I actually do like looking into cool lands for this deck. Meteor Crater. Choose a color of a permanent you control and add 1 mana of that color to your mana pool. Sure. Yeah. Just a good mana door or mana. A land. Jeez. In a 2-color deck. Cool. Alright, let's get into the deck here. So let me switch over to Visual Grid. Let me give my kitty cat one more pet and we'll get started. I'm back from petting my emotional support cat. I also have Utz Halloween pretzels. I hope I get a jack-o'-lantern. Yes. I hope I get a bat. Yes. Wish I could give the kitty some pets. Here, we'll give some virtual pets. Bye. I have literally, and I'm not kidding, editing and writing scripts the last like 3 or 4 days. Have watched 8 Crazy Nights. Let me think of how a realistic number. I would say 6 times. Played it in the background like 3 or 4 times, not really listening. Actually watched it all the way through like 6 times. I have a friend of mine who's watched that movie so many times. Is his name Nick? Is it me? Easily my favorite Christmas movie. I can sing every song in that movie word for word. That's a technical foul. A technical foul. Okay. Anyway. Let Daddy get a couple pretzels in him. And then we'll start. I feel like it doesn't have caffeine because it doesn't say it. But maybe I am to assume if it's tea, it does have caffeine. Okay, plane taking off pretty soon. Got to go. We'll see you later, 07. See you, Quasi. Have a safe flight, my guy. Anyone in chat right now? Quasi's the worst. I'm just kidding. If you could leave a like. That would help the stream a ton. And that's it. Like, I'm just downing pretzels. Yeah, if you guys could leave a like, that'd be sick. That'd be awesome. So funny, she keeps laying on the one spot that doesn't have a blanket. My whole bed's all made up except for one little corner. And she sits right there. I'm gonna see if you guys can still see me if I turn that light that's interface off. Is that better? I just got here. Take my like. Thank you. I will take it. Ways of Crafter. Review my Atla Palani deck next, or I'll do something. I haven't decided what yet, but I'll do inappropriately devastating, or it'll be appropriately devastating. Avatar: The Last Airbender Palani? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. They're back. How about, did I make a beat? I want to see if I made a new beat. I don't think I did. I think I did, actually. Oh my god. Oh my, the loudest thing that's ever played. A little pre-Ferrous beat. This is my Ferrous type beat, dude. This is the beat you play when you play Ferrous. Boros. 4/4s. Golems. I'm making golems. Not golems. Golems. Woo. Yeah. Sorry, I think I filibustered enough for me to finish my tea and eat my and eat my pretzels. Damn. Damn, I'm good. LJL. Golems. I knew it. I knew it was coming. Like left. Thank you. Was it coming back? I just see the like actually go down after that. Aw. Bad joke. Okay. Invasion of Kylem. Yes, this is the busted one he was talking about. 2, a red and a white for a battle. When it enters the battlefield, up to 1 target creature gets +2/+0 and gains vigilance and haste until end of turn. So you play invasion, it triggers get general to make a 4/4. Invasion enters, you give the 4/4 +2/+0 and haste, so then it can attack the invasion, and then you can flip the invasion the turn it comes out into Valor's Reach Tag Team, which will create 2/3/2 red and white warrior creature tokens that have when this creature and at least one other creature attacks, put a 1/1 counter on this creature. Boom. That's really good. That's just like already a pretty decent card at uncommon, but in this deck it feels like it should be a rare. That's very, very good. Invasion of Ravnica. Anyone want 19 power on turn 4? Because I do. Yeah, literally. Literally. Yeah, you get a 6/6 or a 6/4, a 4/4, and 2 3s. Oh, plus the buff that they give themselves when they flip the +1/+1 counter. Yeah. That seems fun. Invasion of Ravnica, another battle. When it enters the battlefield, exile target non-land permanent opponent controls, and it flips for 4, which is perfect for General Ferrous. And it becomes a Guild Pact Paragon, which is a 5/5. Whenever you cast a spell that's exactly 2 colors, perfect in this deck. Look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may reveal a card that's exactly 2 colors from among them, put them into your hand, the rest on the bottom. Both these battles, you're right, for some reason are perfect for this deck. Literally perfect. And Ferrous is 3 power, which is always funny, and people don't have blockers. True, he is a 3/1. That's real good. Okay. Akiri Line Slinger, a red and a white for a 0/3 first strike vigilance. It gets +1/+0 for each artifact you control. So this thing's just going to scale up with your golems, which we love, or golems. I'm going to say golems. With your golems, which is great. A Crow and Hoplite, we already talked about, gives a huge buff, makes a golem, scales with your golems. We love that. Houndmaster, when it enters, search your library for a card named Alpine Watchdog and or a card named Igneous Cur. Reveal them, put them into your hand, then shuffle your library. Whenever out, does it say Andor? Andor. Ooh. Put them into your hand, then shuffle your library. Whenever Alpine Houndmaster attacks, it gets +X/+0 until end of turn, where X is the number of another attacking creatures. Yeah, creatures that scale with General and the amount of creatures it's making over the course of the game is the name of the game here. Playing early game stuff, that stuff scales along with your commander, and then you bash face. Do you have the other two dogs? Do you run dogs? Probably not, right? It's just a 2/2 that scales with your commander and makes you a 4/4. I don't. Okay, I was gonna say. I wouldn't imagine you would. Anim Pakal, Thousandth Moon. Anim Pakal, we've talked about this card a million times on the channel. It makes a shit ton of 1/1 gnomes, and then those gnomes get big. We like that. Or no, not Anim Pakal gets big. I was gonna ask if you run Arabella. There it is. Red and white, 1/3. When it attacks, it does X damage to each opponent, and you gain X life, where X is the number of attacking creatures you control with power 2 or less, which is gonna wait. Number of creatures you control with power 2 or less. How good is this in here? I like that it makes you a 4/4, but it's like, how many creatures do you really have with power 2 or less when like a bunch of your stuff scales and like buffs? We don't have very many small tokens, but literally a 2-mana Vicious Conquistador that makes a 4/4 is good enough. That's fair. Honestly, like a 2-drop, like, yeah, your commander just makes any Boros thing pretty much worth it. That's fair. Arbaz Mirror, Boros for a 2/2. When he or another non-token historical permanent enters the battlefield under your control, it does 1 damage to each opponent and you lose 1 life, or you gain 1 life. That's going to be good. Arcbound Shiki, 1 in a Boros for a 0/0 first strike. It enters the battlefield, put a 1/1 counter on it for each artifact you control. That's really good in this deck. Jeez. Modular 2, that's perfect in this deck. Wow. Aurelia, the Law Above, 3 a red and a white for a 4/4 flying vigilance haste. Whenever a player attacks with 3 or more creatures, you draw a card. Really good. The horn works. Why don't you try the lights? Whenever a player attacks with 5 or more creatures, Aurelia, the Law Above, deals 3 or more damage. 3 or more. Deals 3 damage to each of your opponents, and you gain 3 life. Wow, so you just get both if they swing with 5? That's really good. Oh, true. Flying Vigilance Haste. I like completely looked over that. She's very good. For Boros, that's an incredible card. Balefire gives your white stuff a buff, your red stuff a buff. Whenever you play a red spell, it does 3 damage to target player. And whenever you play a white spell, you gain 3 life. Sure. Blade Historian seems great. Attacking creatures get double strike. Big Boros card. If you drop this for just like all white or all red, it still counts, right? It still triggers your guy. Boros Strike Captain. I haven't seen this guy. 1 and 2 Boros for a 3/3. Whenever Boros Strike Captain and at least 2 other creatures attacks, exile the top card of your library. During any turn you attacked with 3 or more creatures, you may play that card. Sure. 3-drop 3/3 that makes a 4/4 that exiles. Yeah. It does still count, yes. Okay, nice. Caprosti Sunborn. 2 or Sunhorn, whichever. His little thing's blocking him there. His thing is not a horn, so I'm gonna guess it's Sunborn. Unless it's Sunbun. Just kidding. 2 a red and a white for a 4/4. Whenever Caparokti Sunborn attacks, you may tap 2 untapped artifacts you control. If you do, discover 3. Ooh, that seems very good. You just get to cheat out a bunch of your little 2-drop Boros things with that. Using your little golems as fuel? Well, that's great. I like that a lot. Conduit Golem, a little Boros Golem, or Golem, what am I talking about? Conduit Goblin. Little Boros Goblin that enters and gives you 2 energy. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may pay 1 energy. If you do, another target creature you control gets +1/+0 and gains haste. Oh, so you can give your little Golems haste. That's really good. I like that. Dude, Conduit Goblin is actually fun. It should see more play. Yeah, it actually is really nice. Giving like a haste enabler that also gives a buff 2 times in a row on a bear. That might actually, yeah. I'll talk about that card actually. Oh, I can't get it to save. I'll watch the VOD anyway. Ewin Fearless Knight. 2 red and a white for a 3/4 haste. When Ewin Fearless Knight enters the battlefield, exile target creature an opponent controls with greater power. Legendary creatures you control gain protection from each of that creature's colors until end of turn. Whoa. You do just have a lot of legendaries. Arbaz, Arabella, Akiri, Aurelia, Caproxy. Urin, Gazella, Iris, Mary. You have a ton of legendaries, so actually I like this. This is a great card. A 4-drop, 3/4 haste that removes stuff and gives all your legendaries protection from that thing's colors until end of turn. Yikes. I think Irwin is the newest addition. I haven't tried her yet, but she seems really good. She seems very good. I like that ad a lot, actually. Because then it makes it, like, really difficult to survive. Because you have so many 4/4 golems that are going to be swinging at somebody. And then on top of that, you have all these legendaries with protection. And it's like, hey, you're going to take the legendaries. And if you don't shave enough damage off those golems, the golems are going to finish you off and bring it home. And if that doesn't work, I can always play Gisela, double my damage and half your damage. So that's fun. Hero of Precinct 1. 1 and a white for a 2/2. Whenever you cast a multicolored spell, create a 1/1 white human token. That's really good in here. Wow. I like that a lot. Iris God of Victory. 2 a white and a red for a 7/4 indestructible. As long as your devotion to red and white is 7 or less, it isn't a creature. Creatures you control have menace. Prevent all damage that would be dealt to attacking creatures you control. Yikes. So you're telling me my 4/4 golems have menace now and can't be dealt damage when they attack? Yeah, it's a $17 card. I was going to say, that's very good. The big thing with Urine is that it's removal that hits things with big butts, which Boros struggles with, since Boros removal is damage-based. Oh, that's actually very true. That's another very good point. That's funny. I was just going to ask if you had Lasheel, because the preventing all combat damage that would be dealt to attacking reminded me of Lasheel. That's perfect with your golems. Love that. Mary Esquire of Rohan. This seems really good in your deck. Red and a white, 2/2 haste. Has first strike as long as it's equipped. Whenever you attack with Mary and another legendary creature, draw a card. Yeah, just a good card draw engine. You get a 2/2 haste, a 4/4 golem, and then a potential card draw engine. Ah, that seems fun. That seems fun. Nayali. You left, LJL, you left a comment on my video saying you were going to talk about Nayali and how it does gross things. And you did not disappoint, because this seems very, very gross. I'm telling you, man, Boros is the best card advantage color pair. Damn. LJL. Is a Relic of Legends in this list? It is. Relic of Legends. Someone just subscribed. Who was it? Relentless Doofus. Oh, you just subscribed. Thank you, Relentless. I appreciate it. Yes, it is in this list. Okay, so Nayali. We just talked about Nayali in my latest video. She's incredible. 2 red and a white attacking tokens you control have double strike. Whenever 1 or more tokens you control attacks a player, exile the top card of your library. You can play that card for as long as you play it on a turn where a token attacked. Oger's going to double our tokens. Flage is going to be doing some lightning helix shit built into a creature that's a 6/6 that'll also make us a 4/4. Ragavan, as you said, helps us get out a turn 3 Ferrous. That seems fair. Rem Careless Stalwart Slayer. That has too much going on in the name. 1 a red and a white for a 2/3 flying haste. If a spell would deal damage to you or another permanent you control, prevent that damage. Boom. Blasphemous Act. Eat your heart out. If a spell would deal damage to an opponent or a permanent an opponent controls, it deals that much +1. Yeah, that's right. I know why you run this card. You want your B act to do 14 damage. I see your game. Actually, O'Hare, that's how you say it, right? O'Hare talk? Someone taught me that. Actually, O'Hare talk triples tokens, not doubles. Perfect pronunciation. 10 out of 10. We did it, boys. God, I'm gonna tear up. I'm gonna tear up. This drawl card pronouncing country bumpkin can say O'Hare talk. Woo, woo. That's crazy. 3 times the tokens. Nuts. Sammy seems fantastic in here. Jeez. Yikes. 4 white and a red for a 4/4 double strike vigilance. Spells you cast have affinity for artifacts. Yeah, all your stuff costs less for the amount of golems we have. That's disgusting. That's... I don't run Blast Act in here. Yeah, 14's too strong. But I do run Deafening Clarion, which is good for Rem Carlos. Deafening Clarion. Oh, that's the 3 damage because you run 4 drops. That's actually perfect in this deck, dude. Did that come out in the same set as this? I think it did, right? Maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe I'm mistaken. That is really good. Where were we? Sentinel Sierra Leones. 3 a red and a white for a 4/4 haste. As long as an artifact entered the battlefield under your control this turn, creatures you control get +2/+2. Fantastic ability. Whenever Sentinel Sierra Leones and at least 2 other creatures attack, Sentinel Sarah Leons deals damage equal to the number of artifacts you control to target player. Gross in this deck. Different set. Ferrous was MH2. Oh, okay. That Deafening Clarion's perfect for Ferrous. It's crazy. It almost feels like they're in the same set. It's so perfect. Sarah Leons, I've talked about it on the channel. Incredible card. In this list, it's insane. Jeez. Sky Knight Vanguard. Red and a white for a 1-2 flying. Whenever Sky Knight Vanguard attacks, create a 1-1 white soldier creature token that's tapped and attacking. Love that. You get a 1-2 flyer that makes 1-1s and a 4-4. Sure, you just got to remember to add and a 4-4 on the end of these cards, and you're like, oh, wait a second. That's pretty good. Wildfire Awakener, one of my favorite cards. Literally one of my favorite Boros cards. X, 1 a red and a white for a 3-2 Convoke. When it enters the battlefield, create X 1-1 red elementals with when this creature becomes tapped, it deals 1 damage to target a player. Busted card. You can just play this normally and you get a 3-drop 3-2. That makes a 4-4. That's like, sure. In this deck, that's literally, yeah, I'll take a Centaur that gives me a free 4-4. And then any turn past that, a ton of extra 1-1s. And if I've already made tokens, a ton of extra 1-1s. Very good. Wildfire is such a busted card. Dude, this set made me fall in love with Wildfire Awakener. Such a cool card. It's such a good card, man. It's actually crazy. Angel Fire Ignition's great in here. 1 a red and a white, put 2 1-1 counters on target creature, gains vigilance, trample, lifelink, indestructible, and haste until end of turn. Yeah, sure. I'll make one of my golems or my commander huge, give it tons of stat lines, and make an additional golem. Oh, and what's that? Play it again for my graveyard and make more? Yeah. I guess. Clarion, Deafening Clarion is amazing in this deck. Choose one or both. 1 a red and a white. It does 3 damage to each creature. Creatures you control gain lifelink until end of turn. Yeah. So in this deck, you can play this. All your golems survive. You wipe all the small stuff off the table. And then you give all your golems a huge lifelink buff as well. And swing, gain a bunch of life. Yeah. That's absolutely busted. I always wanted to take out Angel Fire since it's such an odd card, but every time I play it, it works way too well. Angel Fire. Oh, Angel Fire Ignition. God, every time I don't hear the full name, my brain's like, dee-dee-dee-dee. What's that? It's very good. This seems very good in your deck. You just get, like, it's a 4-4, and then you just get a huge life swing because of the life link. Trample, Indestructible, Flash. I mean, anything that's Boros and has Flashback in this deck just seems inherently useful. Because you can flashback at instant speed, right? Or you flashback at whatever its speed is, a sorcery. But still, getting, like, it being able to cast it again, that's really, really good. Do you have Othari? Othari, what did you say? Othari, Relentless Doofus, what did you say? That sounds like a creature name. Othari. Oh, yeah, Othari's cool. 3 red and white, 3/3 flying, lifelink, haste. When it attacks, you get an experience counter, then create a 2/2 red rebel for each experience counter on it. Tapped and attacking, tap an untapped rebel, return it from the graveyard to the battlefield. That's pretty good. I used to run Othari. He's in the doghouse for now. He might come back in. That's exactly what I did with Alayla. That's really funny. I just kicked her out because I'm like, you dumb bitch, you ain't doing nothing I want you to do. And the next day, I'm like, I'm sorry I said that to you. I might throw you back in for 4th Earlingus. The hell did he just say to me? X a red and a white, create X 2/2 red human knight creatures with trample and haste. That's really good. Trample, haste, yikes. Whenever 1 or more creatures you control deal combat damage to 1 or more players this turn, you become the Monarch. Sure, just introduce Monarch, make a shit ton of things with an additional 4/4. Yeah. Back fair. Katie, my lady, make sure nobody eat my food. Oh shit. That was yours? I just ate it. I'm just kidding. I was so tempted to eat it. I wanted Subway so bad. That sounded so good. But I would have gotten called a fat ass. By Katie. Katie calls me a fat ass. Your Erlingus can also read 2 mana, create a 4/4, makes you the Monarch. True. True. That's really good. Damn. Rip apart. Red and a white. Choose one. Does 3 damage to our creature or planeswalker. You're not killing a golem with. You're not gonna kill a golem with this. If you try to redirect, good redirect tech. I like it. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. Rip apart's great. I remember this card was like $1 or $2 when it came out. And then people were like, wait. Nah. If he sticks around, he ends games. Completely fair. I really want to make him work. He is really cool. Thrilling discovery. You gain 2 life, draw 2 cards, discard 3 cards. Yike, yike. Discard 3. What if? Oh god, got a sore, a little sore in my throat. Nick's Lotus. Hey, Wooden Dread said it, not me. That could be good in here. It's discard 2, draw 3, not draw 3, discard 2. Oh, really? Oh, little 3 for 3 action. That's cool. I like that. Boros Charm was the first card I thought of for this deck. Clearly, very good. Red and white instant deals 4 damage to target player, or permanents you control gain indestructible, or target creature gains double strike until end of turn. Yeah. I could run Nick's Lotus, actually. It'd be pretty good in here. Would be pretty good in here. Deflecting Palm, next time a source of your choice. Another subscription. Thank you, Matt. Hold on, a couple people subscribed. Frank, Woodhall, and Matt. Thank you, guys. That wouldn't happen to be Wooden Dread, would it? It wouldn't happen to be you, would it? Okay. Deflecting Palm. The next time a source of your choice would deal damage to you this turn, prevent that damage. If damage is prevented, Deflecting Palm deals that much damage to its controller. Yeah. Big boy swing at me, big boy swing at itself, buddy. Fight to the death, red, white, destroy all blocking creatures and all blocked creatures. Sure, and create a 4/4. Frontline Rush, make a bunch of, or make 2/1/1 goblins, or buff target creature +X equal the number of creatures. Or make a 4/4. Integrity, 1 Boros, that seems good already. Target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn, or Intervention. That's probably one of your favorite cards, right? I would have to imagine anything that's just 1 Boros hybrid for its casting cost is like so good. You're just getting a 4/4 for 1 mana plus whatever else, plus a +2/+2. We'll take it. 2 a red and a white for an instant, does 3 damage, you gain 3 life. Yeah. Intimidation Bolt, 3 damage, gain 3. Justice, target creature deals damage equal to itself. Legion Loyalship, double target creature's power and against double strike, or gains first strike? First strike. Lightning Helix, deal 3, gain 3. Master Warcraft, cast Master Warcraft only before attackers are declared. You choose which creatures attack this turn. You choose how each creature blocks this turn. That's an incredibly powerful card. Rally the Righteous, 1 a red and a white for an instant, untap target creature, and each other creature that shares a color with it. Those creatures get +2/+0. Banger card in here, damn. Does he care about copies? He does not. It's when you cast. Okay. Zada does not cast, correct? He just makes copies. Yeah, okay. Zada might be really, really good if he casts the copies. He does not, though. Okay. Ride down. Red and a white for an instant. I've never seen this card. This does not feel like a Rise of Eldrazi card at all. This looks very weird. Red and a white. Destroy target blocking creature. Creatures that were blocked by that creature this combat gain trample until end of turn. Sure. Seems like some pretty okay removal. Ride down is amazing. Such an awesome card. It's pretty cool. I've never seen it before. Warflare. Creatures you control get +2/+1 until end of turn. Untap those creatures. That seems very good. Warlord is here. Helix. Gain 4. Deal 4. Wear and Tear. This is really good because it counts as both colors. So you could just cast Tear and get a 4/4. That's very good, actually. I like that a lot. Artifacts, we got Arcane Signet, Boros Signet, Idol of Oblivion to make tokens into 1 or into card draw, or make a 10/10. Mind Stone for Mana Rock, Obsidian Obelisk as a Mana Rock, Pearl Medallion Mana Rock, Relic of Legends Mana Rock, Talisman of Conviction Mana Rock, and Tome of the Guild Pact Mana Rock and card draw. This is very good in this deck. Taps for any color, or whenever you cast a multicolor spell, draw a card. Yeah, that's gonna do insane work in here. I will say Ferrous is actually really good with combat tricks since it also comes with a 4/4, so it doesn't feel like you're losing out. So things like 4-line or frontline rush and integrity intervention. That is really good in here. Ride down is amazing. Ride down also doesn't say anything about the attack creatures needing to be yours. Oh. Return. Ooh, that's really good. So if someone tries to chump block a bunch of massive stuff with the token deck, you can just be like, I'm gonna ride down. Just because. You're gonna take a bunch of damage, buddy. Land tax gets you caught back up on lands. Legion's Loyalist gives red creatures a 1/0 buff and white creatures an 0/1 buff, and you can exile it, exile all creatures you control, and return them to the battlefield at the beginning of the next end step. Or no, right away and give them haste. Oh, but you have to exile everything though, so you do lose your golems. So you probably don't do that in this deck. You just play this as a 2-drop Anthem that makes you a 4/4. That's fair. What a cold, dreary day. Is it? It is pretty cold here, but it's dark. I can't tell. I can't tell. I'm like, it is cold, but it's also dreary, so I can't tell. Oath of Earl. 3, a white and a red for a enchantment saga. Creatures, or no, sorry. Create 2 1/1 white human soldier creature tokens. Create 2 2/2 human knight creature tokens with trample and haste. And put an indestructible counter on up to 1 target human you control. Or no, any human. Okay. You become the monarch. Sure. Or our commander's a human. Yeah. I like that. That's very good. 5-drop 4/4 makes more humans, gives your human indestructible. Sure. Prosperous Partnership. 1 a red and a white for an enchantment. When it enters the battlefield, create 2 1/1 green white citizen creature tokens. Tap 3 untapped creatures you control. Create a treasure token. Why do you tap 3? Like flavor-wise, why do you tap 3? Because this feels like 2 people having like a little sneaky link. You know what I mean? They're both meeting up under the bleachers right now. And you create 2 1/1 white citizen ships or citizen creatures representing them, but then you have to tap 3 of them to create a treasure. Is that like a baby? Is the third one their baby? That'd be stupid as hell. War Leader's Call. 1 a red and a white. Enchantment. Creatures you control get 1/1 whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control. War Leader's Call. Blah, blah, blah. This is probably one of your best cards that ever got released, right? I bet you were hype when this thing dropped. That's real good. Windcrag Siege. 1 a red and a white for an enchantment. As this enchantment enters, choose Mardu or Jeskai. Mardu. If a creature attacking causes a triggered ability to trigger, it triggers an additional time. It's a $4 card. Wow. Jeskai. At the beginning of your upkeep, create a 1/1 red goblin creature with menace. No, it doesn't have menace. What the fuck am I thinking? It gains lifelink and haste until end of turn. Pretty good, though. I like that, though. I'm going to re-pop out the chat really quick, because it seems like it stopped updating for me. 1 second. Yes, it did. Okay. I'm gonna say it looks like it did. There are some cool ways you can mess with people in this deck. One time I played Master Warcraft against a Voltron Ygra deck and made them kill another opponent with Ygra and leave them open. Gross. Oh, that's the Golgari Tiger guy, right? Legion's Initiative is just for the Anthem, but also if someone tries to board wipe, it's not terrible. True. I didn't even think about that with board wipes. It's actually really good. Damn, shit's falling everywhere. Fucking hell, that scared me. Because 2 would be OP. Yeah, I got so hyped when War Leader's Call dropped. Good for Aristocrats deck, baby. It is really good. Just an Anthem with a built-in impact tremors. Sure. Why not? As far as lands are concerned, we've got a Mina's Tirith. Enters tapped unless you control a legendary. Tap to add a white. Pay 1 and a white. Draw a card. Activate only if you attack with 2 or more creatures. That's good. That's actually really good. I might want one of those for Arna, actually. Actually really good in there. And then of course, Legion's Leadership was another land that flips. Okay, I like this deck a lot. This is very, very cool. It's doing what it does, and as LJL said, he's went through all the Boros cards multiple times, so he's seen all the Boros stuff. So this will be a little tough. Let me think here. You're making have you ever thought about running Warstorm Surge? It's expensive, but turning each of your golems that enters into a direct 4 damage to any target, that seems very good. I used to run Double Cleave, which is literally Legion Leadership, but worse, and then that 1 drop, so it was an easy replacement. Fair. I have not. That's an interesting choice. Yeah, I think Warstorm would be pretty okay. You're just getting a bunch of free 4 ping damage when stuff comes into play, and I think there's like cheaper cards that do similar stuff to Warstorm Surge, if I'm not mistaken, at this point. What was the other thing that popped into my head with your 4/4s? Oh, what about like the ferocious mechanic? Was there anything in there that would be good? I'm gonna butcher how you spell this. Draw a card for each. Oh, you're not running. Sorry, it's red white. Hmm. Yeah, there's not a lot of ferocious stuff that's great. That would really be worth running in your deck. Like Timur Battle Rage is okay, but it's not justifying. Oh yeah, check out the considering cards. I forgot about that. Let's see if we should pull the trigger on any of these considering cards. Adriana, Captain of the Guard. 3 red and a white for a 4/4 melee. When this creature attacks, it gets 1/1 until end of turn for each opponent you attacked this combat. Other creatures you control have melee. That's pretty good. 5's a little steep, but it's really good. I don't know. Irelia is really good. Additional combats is always going to be nice. Again, if you're not having trouble winning games, though, you might not need to run her. Aya of Alexandria. 2 red and a white for a 4/3 menace lifelink. Whenever a historic spell you control deals combat damage to a player, create a 1/1 black assassin creature token with menace. I don't hate that. If you leaned more into the legendary thing, I think I would run this. But as it stands, maybe not. Also, Alabu would be one of the best cards in the deck if I ran it. I don't have it in the deck because a friend of mine runs an Alabu deck. We should still run it in the deck. Oh, historic counts artifact creatures. Oh yeah, all your golems turn into 1/1 assassins? I love that. That should definitely be added. That's really good. Bayek of Siwa. 3 red and a white, 3/4 double strike. As long as it's your turn, other historic creature you control have double strike. What the hell? This needs to go in there. It has disguise? This needs to go in there immediately. That's real good. Those two are bangers. I like those in here a lot. Bella Borka's cool. It's a little weird. It's guaranteed exile draw, which is nice. I totally get maybe not running it though. Quarry Mountain Stalwart. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, this creature does 2 damage to each opponent and you gain 2 life. This feels like you should just take out something for that. Hold on a second. 3 for a 3/3 that... Hold on. There's something in here where I'm like, that could go out. Come on. Arcbound Shikari. I mean, that could scale really big late. Never mind. Arcbound Shikari is really, really good. I don't know what I'm thinking. Maybe this one. Boros Strike Captain. 3-drop, 3/3 that lets you exile a card if you swung with 3 or more things. Or a 3-drop, 3/3 that pings each opponent for 2 and draws you a card when you cast your second spell. I don't know. They're both good. I don't know. I definitely see your dilemma here, though, because there's a bunch of cool shit. The only reason I don't run Quarry Mountain Stalwart is because it's 3 mana and the commander is 3 mana, so it's weird on curve. Very true. I hate that shit. Craig Boone, another 3-drop. 3/3 reach lifelink whenever you attack with 2 or for my 1 for my baby. Whenever you attack with 2 or more creatures, put 2 quest counters on Craig Boone. Novak Guard. When you do, Craig Boone deals damage equal to the number of quest counters on it to up to 1 target creature unless that creature's controller has Craig Boone deal damage to them. It's alright. I'm not the biggest fan of it. Pit Bulmus. Oh my gosh. Hello, sir. Your video today was legit. Great job. Thank you. I appreciate that. I put a lot of work into that video. So I'm going to be putting a lot more work into my videos from now on. So I've got a schedule worked out that seems to be actually working. So that's good. You guys should be getting a lot more content. I skipped something. Dejiru and Hazaret. Jiru and Hazaret. 2 and 2 red and a white legendary creature human god 5/4. As long as you have 1 or fewer cards in hand, Jiru and Hazaret has vigilance and haste. Okay. Whenever Jiru and Hazaret attacks, look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may exile a legendary creature card from among them, put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Until the next turn, you may cast the card without paying its mana cost. They're pretty cool. I actually haven't seen these guys. I didn't realize this was a pairing that was in March of the Machines. or Brothers War, whichever one it was. That's incredible. I actually like that. That's a Boros commander I might be interested in building. That's pretty sick. Hey, Durger Hedge Mage. I love this card. 2 in a hybrid Boros, 2/2. When it comes into play, if you have 2 or more mountains, destroy an artifact. If you have 2 or more planes, destroy an enchantment. Very good. That's an incredible card in here. Oh, it's not even in the deck. I forgot we were considering. Put that in the deck. Durger Hedge Mage needs to be in here. That's incredible. A 3-drop 2/2 that makes a 4/4 and can potentially blow up 2 things. Like, that's real good. Used to have it in the deck, still thinking putting it back in. So far, this has my hardest vote for putting back in. That's just like, that's good utility. That's just good value. 2 removals, a 2/2, and a 4/4 for 3 mana. Yikes. That's really good. Feather the Redeemed. I guess you have stuff that targets in this deck, so you can get, like, reuses on it, but I don't think there's enough synergy to, like, justify it, in my eyes. Figure of Destiny is one of my favorite cards ever printed. It's in the front of my binder, wherever my binder is. Because literally it is one of my top 3 favorite Magic cards of all time. Honor the Pure, Figure of Destiny, and Bitter Blossom are my 3 favorite cards. So I have no reasons to give you to not put this in. I love this card. Jesse Hodges, dude. My fortune teller told me that Jesse Hodges was gonna subscribe today. Gotta pay her more. Fireman Avenger, 2 red and a white for a 3/3 flying. When it and at least 2 other creatures attack, it does 3 and you gain 3. I forgot this is a card. I really like when Magic cards staple an instant or sorcery onto a creature and then has the art depict something very similar to that. Because it feels like this thing just, like when you cast Lightning Helix, this feels like what that Lightning Helix came from. And then stapling the Lightning Helix ability onto this card, having it be able to cast it when it attacks. Having creatures like look like they're casting a spell, and then having that spell connect to an actual instant or sorcery. Oh my god. It's like my favorite thing. It's like the coolest thing when Magic does that. Like when it's like it'll be like Rampant Druid, and it'll be like pay 1 and a green, tap it, search for land, and put it into play tapped. And I'm like, that guy's casting Rampant Growth right there. That's sick. That's why I really liked the Strixhaven Mystical Archive stuff, because it all showed those spells being cast, like in the art. I thought that was so cool. I thought that was a really cool idea. Honored Crop Captain. Red and white for a 3/2. When it attacks, other attacking creatures get +1/+0 until end of turn. This goes in there. What are you talking about? Draugr Hedgemage and Honored Crop Captain and Figure of Destiny are the 3 that I'm like, these seem like you need to find a place for these. Figure of Destiny being a 1-drop that'll make you a 4/4 and then scales. Nuts. Draugr double removal 2/2 and a 4/4. Nuts. And then Honored Crop Captain, it's doing the same thing that your other ones are doing, except I think better. Because your other creatures are like giving themselves buffs equal to the amount of artifacts you control. So like stuff like Arcbound Shiki, stuff like a Crone Hoplite, stuff like Alpine Huntmaster or Houndmaster is buffing itself equal to the number of artifacts or creatures you control, which is good. But I think having like a card in there that could do the opposite and buff your board could also be good, because it's doing the same thing. Because if you have 7 creatures in play with one of those other ones, that thing's going to get +7/+7. If you use Honored Crop Captain, it's going to give out 7 +1/+0s. So it's essentially doing the same amount of offensive, but just spread out more. And it's a 2-drop 3/2 that makes you a 4/4. This is crazy. The funny thing is, those are the 3 cards I used to have in the deck. Well, there's your sign, dude. I honestly think you need to find a spot for those. We'll help you out here in a second. We'll try to find one, because those are incredible in the deck. All 3 of those are amazing. Lightning Army of 1. 1 red and a white for a 3/2. First strike, lifelink, trample. Whenever lightning deals combat damage to a player, until your next turn, if a source would deal damage to that player or a permanent, that deals double that damage instead. Ooh. Yikes. So could you give lightning double strike? And then her second hit would do 6? Is that how that works? Yeah, lightning's busted. It's probably going in, but it's new. Yes, double strike would work. That's really cool. Wow, I like that a lot. Yeah, lightning seems sick. It's a little awkward with the 3-drop thing like you were talking about, but whatever. Mog Moogle. Oh, Mog needs to go in, buddy. That is how it works. Hell yeah. Mog needs to go in. Mog is my favorite card from Final Fantasy. You got all the bangers in here. It literally is my favorite card from Final Fantasy. I wanted to make a Mog deck really, really bad. My store doesn't have one. My other store didn't have one. So if I come across the Mog, I will make a Mog deck. If I come across it Natty, I will make one. One, a red and a white for a 1/2 lifelink. At the beginning of your end step, each player may discard a card. Each player who discarded a card this way draws a card. If a creature card was discarded this way, you create a 1/2 Moogle with lifelink. If a non-creature card was discarded this way, put a 1/1 counter on each Moogle you control. It's so fun. You don't even have to like do the tribal thing. You can just have him be his own little Moogle engine and then build another cool little thing around it. He's so cool. Mog is Moggin in the other Final Fantasy cards. Mog is Moggin on the other Final Fantasy cards. That's fair. That's fair. I like this one so much, though. Especially after just playing Kingdom Hearts 1, going to Traverse Town. I saw the little balloon Mog walking through the street, and I was like, I never knew that's what that was. I never knew that that was a Moogle when I was little. I didn't know what any of that shit was. I just thought it was a Disney game. So, coming back to it now, I'm like, that's a Moogle! Holy shit! Maybe Glimmer Void? That could be cool. That's the land, right? Yeah. At the beginning of your end step, if you control no artifacts, sacrifice Glimmer Void, add one event of any color. Yeah, that just seems like another good fixer in the deck. Like, you're going to have the mana you need. You're going to have artifact because of your commander. That seems pretty good. Othari, Sun's Glory. We were just talking about that. Quintarius Loremaster. 3 red and a white for a 3/5 vigilance. At the beginning of your end step, exile target non-creature, non-land card from your graveyard. Create a 3/2 red. He's just too slow. He's just, I don't know. He's 5 mana, 3/5. And then someone has to read that and then let him stick for it to go off. And then you sack a permanent the next time around. And I don't know. I don't like this guy. I think he's too slow. Riders of Rohan. 3 red and a white for a 4/4. When it enters the battlefield, create 2/2 red human knight creature tokens with trample. Oh, and haste. Yeesh. Hold on. Yee. Yeah, that's pretty busted. You get 12 power for 5. And you can dash it out. Oh. Okay, this feels like in a bubble it's very good and exciting. But then in execution it feels like a win more card because it's like by the time you're doing that, you've probably already got 7, 8, 9 golems in play. And you're probably close to winning anyway, so just getting 12 more power is kind of a hat on a hat that late. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan. Swiftblade Vindicator. Red, white, 1/1, double strike, vigilance, trample. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that either. I'd rather have a conduit goblin. I'd rather have a conduit goblin than a Swiftblade. Jolly Balloon Man's sick. He has a 3-drop, which is awkward, but he's so good. In this deck, I don't know how good. What's like the strongest thing we could Jolly Balloon Man? I mean, a Gazella. I don't think Gazella stacks, though. Right? I don't think that would actually matter. Jolly Balloon Manning and a Neem Pakal could be nuts. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's probably justifiable to run it, but it's really, really good. Tori Devant, Fury Rider. 1 and 2 red and a white for a 3/3 flying, vigilance trample. Whenever Tori D. Avenant? Tori D. Avenant. Or Davenant. Whatever. Fury Rider attacks. All other attacking creatures you control get +1/+1 until the end of turn. Other red creatures you control gain trample until end of turn. Other white creatures you control. Oh, sorry. I'm like, wait, it didn't finish. Untap each other white creature you control. So all your stuff's red-white. So you're just giving your stuff a 1/1 trample, and then you untap them. So like vigilance, trample, 1/1. When it attacks. It's a little slow for my liking. I think there's better stuff you could put in here. What about Rise of the Hobgoblins? Quintarius is too slow, but it's really good with Commander Sphere, actually. Rise of the Hobgoblins is interesting, but it's the same thing as Riders of Rohan. If I'm spending 6+ mana on a card, I don't want to spend it getting more tokens. That's fair. I want to use that mana making my current tokens lethal. What about the Boros extra combat card from like Lorwyn or whatever? With like all the little like dwarves walking through the cave. Yeah, Waves of Aggression. You should run Waves of Aggression, dude. 3 in a Boros, untap all creatures that attacked this turn. After this main phase, there's an additional combat phase, followed by an additional main phase. And it's got Retrace. You may play this card from your graveyard by discarding a land that to it, so you can play it again, get the Retrace. The one with Retrace, I've considered it, but I haven't tried it out yet. I think it's really good. Waves of Aggression would be a good way to turn your tokens lethal. And it casts twice, which is really good. Take the Bait? You should run Take the Bait. This card's sick. Take the Bait's actually overpowered. Genuinely, I think you should run this. Cast the spell only during an opponent's turn and only during combat. Prevent all combat damage that would be dealt to you and planeswalkers you control this turn. Untap all attacking creatures and goad them. There's an additional combat phase. So you just go, hey, if you swing at me, it's not going to do anything anyway. So you might as well swing at one of them. And there's an additional phase where you have to swing after that, and it can't be at me again. Plus, I get a 4/4 for that. This is busted. You should definitely run this card. Actually, this card literally feels like it just reads win the game. Actually, it's better than just casting twice. Retrace doesn't exile it when you cast from grave, so you can keep playing it whenever you have a land in hand. Yeah. That seems busted in this. Are you kidding me? Take the Bait seems incredible as well. Like, literally, this is like Disrupt Decorum, except you get an additional combat. They all get an additional combat. So just you get an additional combat, and that's so good. I could definitely do Take the Bait. There's also a blue card that does the exact same thing, but worded differently, which is funny. Oh, really? That's funny. I didn't know that. Take the Bait's sick. I very much like that card. I think it's a very, very good card. Foundry Helix is kind of cool. Sack a permanent, deal 4, gain 4. You already have Foundry Helix. No, Foundry's kind of cool. You can just sack one of your golems and then replace it immediately. And just get like pretty much a free, not a free, it's just another lightning helix that replaces the golem. Yeah. Maybe if you run Warstorm Surge, that could be interesting. Because you could get the double trigger there. One of my favorite Retrace cards is Embrace the Unknown. Embrace the Unknown. Into the unknown. 2 in a red. Exile the top 2 cards of your library until the end of turn. You may, or until the end of your next turn, you may play those cards, and that's Retrace. Ooh, that is really good. Damn. Especially if you're in like a lands matter deck that can get lands from grave. Just discard lands and play them again to Retrace shit. That's really, really good. I actually specifically don't like Foundry Helix in this deck. I don't think it works well. I don't want to get rid of my golems like that. I was going to say, it seems like a little bit of like, it reads like you're like, oh, that would be cool interaction, but then you're like, but I would rather just net a golem instead of just losing it. Illusionist Gambit is the blue card. Oh, I have seen this. I didn't remember that's what that did. During the declare blocker step on an opponent's turn, remove all attacking creatures from combat and untap them. After this phase, there's an additional combat phase. Each of those creatures attacks as combat Fable, and they can't attack you or a planeswalker you control. Oh, literally. Same thing. That's really good, too. I need to pick one of those up. These effects are so OP. The Disrupt Decorum type effects are actually just, like, busted. They're so good. Play the thing that makes golems. The Ixalan thing. This thing? Golem Guardian? Defender, Golem Guardian fights another creature. You can transform it, tap it to add 2 mana of any one color, or pay 4, tap it to create a 4/4 colorless golem. Yeah, there could be some like cool golem interaction, giving your golems +1/+1, giving your golems vigilance. I don't know what else you can give your golems though. Give your golems indestructible. Give your golems first strike. Not bad. Yeah, that thing. I love my golem tribal. I love my golem tribal deck. Jeez, that sounds fun. The golems are cool, man. Blade Splicer used to be one of my favorite cards ever printed. Oh my god, a fucking stink bug just flew into my light. Oh, you son of a bitch. It's interesting, but I'm not a huge fan. Yeah, I could see that. Not wanting to go this direction with it, for sure. It'd be sick if you could run, obviously you can't, but I kept thinking of Niv Mizzet when I was reading your deck, because I was like, that'd be so sick to be able to, like, if there's, like, a Boros Niv Mizzet where it just dug up Boros cards. That one card's kind of like it. What about Sunforger? I know that's not a whatever, but it could help you. Yeah. Unattached Sunforger. Search your library for a red or white instant card with converted mana cost 4 or less, and you may cast that card without paying its mana cost. This seems very good in your deck. Like, literally, just every time you do the Sunforger trigger, you're just like, grab a new Lightning Helix, grab a new Lightning Helix, cast it for free, grab a new Lightning Helix, cast it for free. Like, that seems real good. This actually started off as a Sunforger deck, dude. It broke my heart when I eventually cut it. Why'd you have to cut it? Just put it back in. There just weren't enough cheap Boros instants? Oh, there's enough cheap Boros instants, dude. Come on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can even use the big side of that. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's combined. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. You can search for like all of them, dude. Oh man, that seems so good though. Too expensive, but it cast it for free. I still feel like it could work, dude. You playing Defecting Palm? I am running it. What about a saw? Oh man, lifting that bed. That's my shoulder blade up. Okay. Campus Renovation. 3 red and a white. Return up to 1 target artifact or enchantment from your graveyard to the battlefield. Exile the top 2 cards of your library. You may cast them until the end of your next turn. That's pretty good, actually. Heroic Reinforcements. Create 2 1/1s. Creatures get 1/1 until end of turn. Taunt from the Ramparts. This is another one that I think you should run. Love these goat effects. 3 red and a white. Goat all creatures your opponents control until your next turn. Those creatures can't block. Such a nasty... This literally reads win the game. Taunt from the Rampart, literally... Not win the game, maybe. Taunt from the Rampart reads 2 players get knocked out of this game. like, am I wrong that like 90% of the games this is played late game, it literally reads knock 2 players out of the game? Like, is someone just gonna swing at someone else because they can't block and just smoke them, and then pass into someone else, and that guy's gonna be like, well, I might as well swing into you because they're all goated. I can't swing at him. Oh, and you can't block. Like, oh gosh. Aurelia's Fury needs to go in here too, dude. Oh, there's so many bangers. This is like one of the first cards I thought of when I read your commander. Aurelia's Fury deals X damage divided amongst any number of creatures or players. Tap each of the creatures dealt damage this way and prevent damage. Players dealt damage this way can't cast non-creature spells this turn. Yeah, sorry, you can't counterspell, you can't removal spell, you can't do any of that stuff. Do it before I play the Aurelia's Fury, or you're done. I used to run Aurelia's Fury, but it's just too much mana. Maybe throw a couple of big mana things in here, though. You know what I mean? Because some of this stuff's so powerful that I think the reasoning of like big mana may not be justifiable if we could run a couple of ways to like get big mana. Because like that's so good. That's such a good effect. Did someone say Noctua? Spit on that? Noctua, baby. My name is Noctua. The vampire. Everyone starts laughing. Like, what is funny? Nothing. Keep talking. I am Noctua. double cleave. It's okay. Double cleave seems okay. Alloran's Searing Light, 2 a red and a white. Instant, each opponent exiles a creature with the greatest power among creatures that player controls. This seems really good. Again, Boros getting rid of big stuff. You were the one your words, not mine, baby. Spell Mastery. If there are 2 or more instant or sorcery cards in your graveyard, Alloran's Searing Light deals damage to each opponent equal to the number of creatures they exiled. Wait. Each opponent exiles a creature with the greatest power among creatures they control. If there are 2 or more instant sorcery cards, Alloran's Searing Light deals damage to each opponent equal to the power. Oh, equal to the power of the creature they exiled. That's real good. Everything's biggest thing gets knocked out, and then goosh. Oh, you're good, Yorsum. LJL's got enough knowledge for everybody when it comes to this Boros thing. It's not multicolored, but Tragic Arrogance is goated. Tragic Arrogance is a goated card. Tragic Arrogance. 3 and 2 white sorcery. For each player, you choose from among the permanents that player controls an artifact, a creature, an enchantment, and a planeswalker. Then each player sacrifices all other non-land permanents they control. Ooh. You get to like cherry pick what the board state looks like. That's cool. Oh gosh. Is that a god? That's a god, right? What's going on? Though Kefnet's followers feverishly searched his last words for some final riddle, they found only the gurgles of a dying god. Yeah, what the hell? Yikes, I didn't know that was like a thing that happened in the story. That's like some graphic art. For Magic. Or for like modern-ish Magic. Not really modern, but that's crazy. Boy got smoked. Boy got beamed. I've kind of stopped running board wipes though. A player gets aggroed and has to use a board wipe, and you think that of me? No, I'm the one that swings out. Yeah, 100%. And if I do run board wipes, I run them with the intention of running a ton of cards that give my board indestructible. Like literally, most of the time I run a bunch of board wipes. That's the strat. It's like, oh, I'm just gonna give my board indestructible, wipe. Everyone else's stuff is gone. Swing. If I'm just wiping to reset, like that's like one of the old school habits that I really don't have anymore. Okay. Yeah, Aloran Searing Light is insane. Respond deals 5 damage to target attacking or blocking creature. Sure. Resurgence, 3 red and a white sorcery. Creatures you control gain first strike and vigilance until end of turn. After this main phase, there's an additional combat phase followed by an additional main phase. So this is kind of like the one we were talking about with Retrace. It also has a built-in deal 4 to attacking creatures, but I think the Retrace one's insane. The fact that you can keep doing Retrace, that's like very good. Sacred Fire, deal 2, gain 2 with flashback. Horn of the Mark is one of my favorite cards. I run this in my Arna deck. Whatever. I'm sure you believe me. It's one of my favorite cards in Arna. I recommend this card to anyone I play Magic with. I'm like, you ever tried Horn? Pretty sick. Swing with 2 or more creatures, like at the top 5. Reveal a creature card from among them, put them into your hand. Yeah, you just get like creature tutors when you swing. It's really good. My favorite is using Celestial Judgment and trying to choose as many powers as possible. LOL, I've gotten 0 to 7 just from my own creatures before. It felt so good. Oh god, what does Celestial Judgment do? Four and 2 white sorcery. For each different power among creatures on the battlefield, choose a creature with that power. Destroy each creature not chosen this way. That's hilarious. You're like, just from me, it's 1 through 7. Oh god, go the fuck away. Oh my god, did you see that thing? Did you see that go through the camera right there? That thing is swarming me, dude. What is going on right now? Where did that thing go, bro? Now it's coming over here towards me. You see that thing? You see that thing flying around right now? It needs to land so I can fucking kill it. That's right, you son of a bitch. Hold on, this guy's going down. Fuck, where'd it go? I don't want to use this because it's gonna like crunch it. Let me stick this on. Do a little this. Let me do a little this action. Some action. Oh god. Oh god. Did I get him? Did I get him or is he on the back of this? Oh, he's still up there. I just heard him. You bastard. Trying to do deck review. Son of a gun. I hate stink bugs, dude. Oh, they just like buzz and bash against shit. They smell bad. My cat doesn't do shit about them. My cat's like, I ate one of those things once and it sucked. Oh, it's like lurking right over my shoulder in this lamp. This shit sucks. Oh, you stop buzzing, you son of a bitch. It's gonna land on the back of my fucking thing. He's about to -1/-1 that bug. I am about to -1. Get out of. You know what? I am about to -1. Come on, go down. Don't run away, buddy. I got a little bleach for you. Come on. Where'd you go? Oh, I hate bugs. bro. They're just like, oh, I know I'm about to get smoked. This bug's like, I know I'm about to get smoked. Dude, did it fly out? You guys get eyes on that thing? You guys got eyes on this? There he is. There he is. That's right, buddy. You just got bleached. You just got bleached, pal. You ain't coming back from a bleaching like that. You ain't coming back from a bleaching like that, buddy. Alright. Sorry, I just hissing my asthma at that dude. I had to freaking. Yeah. Sorry. Had to throw him in the Yawgmoth, dude. Had to sink him in the Burk. I would love to throw in Taunt from the Ramparts, Waves of Aggression, Allure, and Searing Light, but trying to find 3 cards I can cut for them is not easy. You're not gonna lie, the deck is already kind of low on lands. That's fair. That's completely fair. Man, yeah, it really is such a tight list. It's difficult. I think the follow-up video on Wednesday is going to be much more useful for this one. We'll have some more time to think about this. Anything else in the chat that we can suggest here? Because it's like, it's a tight list. You look at it and it's like glowing gold. You have so much Boros shit. Yeah, buddy, sorry. You're gonna be a weird-ass bug. You gotta deal with it. You play weird-ass bug games, you win weird-ass bug prizes. Has he never heard that saying? Has he never heard that saying? If you play weird bug games, you win weird bug prizes, dude. Like a bleach bath. Also, land tax and Osier Talk. Oh, O'Hare. O'Hare Tech, or O'Hare Talk, are in there more because I pulled them from packs than anything else. That's completely fair. I used to have Mondrak proxied instead of O'Hare Talk, but then I pulled O'Hare. Very cool. I would too, honestly. If I pulled O'Hare, I'd be like, okay, well, this is getting slapped into all my list. I don't even care. 3 times the creatures is insane. He's out of here. He's fucking out of here. What else would be good in here? I mean, you could always throw in like a Strionic Resonator or the camera, the new camera that came out. I like these in a lot of decks. Copying a triggered ability is going to be really good because you can copy Ferrous. So for 2 extra mana, you get an additional 4/4 Golem each time, which could be good. And then also the new like Peter Parker's camera. Is that what it's called? Yeah, Peter Parker's camera can copy activated and triggers, so you could get some more copies on other stuff. But I really like Strionic for copying Ferrous. I think it's pretty good. Also, Odric maybe? Odric is really cool. Pretty much any form of Odric is cool, especially the one where you can just like make them take the damage to the dome. That's like the best. Change the basics to all snowlands. Run Skred, Boros Reckoner, and Boros Charm. Skred deals damage to our creature equal to the number of snow permanents you control. Ooh. Hit him with the Skred tech, dude. Skred tech, dude. I did it on accident. I did it on accident. That seems pretty good. If you want to, I'd actually love to hear what cards you think should get cut. Yeah, let's see what we're dealing with. Okay, I'm just gonna go through them all really quickly and just like lock in off gut feeling. Locked in, locked in, locked in, locked in, locked in, locked in. Maybe Arabella. Like, cause your reasoning was like, I don't have a lot of 2-drops, but playing a 2-drop 1/3 that gives me a 4/4 is good. But then I'm like, well, by that logic, just run Honored Crop. You get a 2-drop 3/2 that makes you a 4/4 and buffs your whole board. So I think Arabella can probably go, in my opinion. Arbaz Mir, I think, is good. Arcbound's really good. Aurelia is really good. Balefire's really good. Blade Historian's really good. Boros Strike Captain just doesn't do it for me. I don't know why. It's a 3-drop 3/3 that gives you an exile off the top and makes you a 4/4. I just think there's like a cooler card you could run. That one's just not really doing it. Caproxy I actually do like a lot, cheating out other stuff. Conduit Goblin I like. Irwin's insane. Gazella's really good. Hero of Precinct 1 I like. I just like stuff that makes tokens like that. Iroas is insane. Lashiel's really good. Mary Esquire of Rowan's extremely good. Nyali's insane. Oh, here Talk's very good. Blaze is very good. Ragnar is really good. Rem Curious. Maybe Rem Carlos I could see you getting rid of. I feel like the preventing like Blasphemous and stuff is like whatever. You know what I mean? That's like kind of niche a little bit. This is just gut feeling. I don't have like a ton of good reasoning. This is just like surface level reasoning, but more of gut feeling. Not a huge Rem Carlos fan in this deck. I don't know why. Sammy I like a lot. Sentinel Sarah is very good. Sky Knight I like a lot. Wildfire I like a lot. Angel Fire Ignition, I could see you not being a fan of it and removing it, and I would not see this deck performing any worse because of it, with it being removed. So I think it's a good card, but I think removing it, I don't feel like the deck would perform any worse. So that might be where we're at with cutting cards. Deafening Clearing's insane. Fourth Earlings is really good. Rip Apart's great. Thrilling Discovery is great. But Thrilling Discovery might not be great. You're pretty much losing 3 cards to gain 3 cards. But in Boros, any kind of pseudo draw or fixing your hand will be useful, so I could see keeping it. Boros Charm is fantastic. Deflecting Bomb's fantastic. Fight to the Death. I think Fight to the Death can probably go. Unless you've played it a billion times and you're like, no, it's actually busted. It's incredibly good. Gut feeling, it feels like it's more often than not kind of like whatever. I get a 4/4 instant speed. I could do that with other stuff, though. Frontline Rush, I like. I think it's pretty good. Love Integrity and Intervention. Intermission Boat's good. Justin's good. Legion's good. Lightning Helix is good. Master Warcraft's great. Rally the Righteous. That's a good one. Ride Down's good for removal. Warflame is good for pseudo vigilance, untapping your creatures. Warflame cost 4 though. I think Warflame could probably go. If I'm being honest, I'm not sold on Warflame. I think that could probably go. Warlord here looks great. Wear and Tear is great. I like all your artifacts a lot. None of those I want to leave. Tome is extremely good in this deck. Legion Oath is really good. Land Tax is really good. Prosperous Partnership is going to be great in this deck. War Leaders is very good. Windcrag's fantastic. It's such a tight list that that's literally the only things I could find that I wouldn't like in here. Fight to the Death is so busted. Think about when one opponent attacks another opponent and a bunch of creatures you don't like block. Boom, they're all gone. No, totally. In that, like, in those instances, I think it's very, very good. I just feel like maybe it's a personal thing. I feel like if I ran it, it would just sit in my hand so many turns where I'm just like, shit. Can't really do anything right now. But maybe I'll play with it and just be like, oh my god, that's the thing. Warflame I like for the buff, and it's actually really good with Prosperous Partnership. Hot take, Ragavan is really good, but maybe not needed in the list. He runs Ragavan so he can get a turn 2 General Ferrous out, which is pretty respectable. I mean, getting turn 2 Ferrous is very, very good. And the artifact tokens, the treasures will interact with some other stuff in the list. That's genuinely the only stuff I can find that I think should go. I don't like Arabella. I don't like Boros Strike Captain. I don't like Rem Carlos. Apparently Fight to the Death is overpowered, so keep that one. Yeah, that's it. Those are the only things I don't like. Everything else is so good. It's not even like those things aren't good. It's just, I think there's things that are in your considering that I would much rather run instead of those. Like, instead of that 2-drop, I'd rather run Honored Guard or whatever. Instead of, let's see, what was the other one? Instead of Boros Strike Captain, like, I would much rather run, like, Mog would be great instead of Boros Strike Captain. Because if you're worried about the 3-drop thing, take out Boros Strike Captain and put in Quarry Mountain Stalwart. Because they're both 3-drops. Like, so it's not changing anything about the deck when you run them. And then Rem Carlos is cool, but again, it's another 3-drop, and I just don't think it's worth it. You could even consider running like a 1, 2, or 4-drop, just to even smooth it out even more past that. He does have War Leader's Call, yep. Here, very good. No, 100%. Reckless Doofless trying it out right now, but I agree. I also might swap out Windcrag Siege. I don't think I have quite enough attack triggers in the deck. Oh, that's fair. That's another one that I could see you swapping out. Yeah, I could see that one too. Actually, that's another one that I'm not 100% sold on. Yeah, those are my suggestions. If it, like, for removal or to take out the deck or to consider taking out of the deck, Windcrag Siege, Warflame, Fight to the Death. You say it's fantastic. I believe you. Maybe Thrilling Discovery, Boros Strike Captain, Arabella, and Rem Carlos. That's my suggestion. Mog instead of Thrilling Discovery, I can see. Yeah, actually, I like that switch. Yeah, I think that switch makes a ton of sense. We've also got these two. Wand of the World Soul, add a white, the next spell you cast has Convoke. That's pretty good. Honestly, the next spell has Convoke. I need to get one of these for Arna. That's incredible. I do get not wanting to run stuff that's not Boros, though, because the theme is just so tight. Shadow of the Scalds. Exile the top 4 cards of your library until the end of your next turn. You can play those cards. 4 mana to exile the top 4 cards. That's an incredible going right. Are you kidding me? Whenever you cast this spell, or whenever you cast a spell this turn, put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. That's a very good card. 4 exile for 4 mana is actually nuts. Oh, also, Winota is insane in here, but I don't like Winota. That's fair. Windcrag Siege seems dope. It does seem really good, but like he was saying, he doesn't have that many attack triggers. So you could pick the other one, where you make 1/1 goblin tokens with haste and lifelink, but then it's like, what are we really doing? I guess you're playing a 3-drop, getting a 4/4, and then making goblins past that. That's still pretty good. Yeah, that could be gross. Yeah, those are my suggestions what to take out. Those are the stuff that I'm not a fan of. Everything else is like very good. I really like this list actually. Any last minute suggestions in chat for this deck, anybody? Anybody got any ideas before we hop off here? Seems dope. Love the suggestions. Thank you. Thank you, LJL. This is a really fucking cool deck. I always like when people actually make me want to run something that I normally do not want to touch with a 10-foot pole. So, Iroas. I think we run Iroas, right? Or do we run just the partner guys with them? Or is that the other deck? Oh, that was this one, right? Oh, it was down here. It was in here considering. Oh no, that was Dijuru. I can think of a single Winmore card. Song of the World Soul. Song of the World Soul. Are you the guy that recommended that last time? Whenever you cast a spell, populate. You're always recommending this card, dude. Iroas is in there. Yeah, this Odric, dude. Create X blood tokens where X the number of abilities from among flying, double strike. You have a lot of stuff with keyword abilities. You can just make a shit ton of blood tokens. A 3-drop, 3/3, make a 4/4 when you cast it. Make a shit ton of blood tokens with it as well. I mean, it's a 3-drop, but again, you run some 3-drops already. I feel like you could swap. You could swap this out for that Minotaur. I think that's better. Oh gosh, my speaker's buzzing. In my opinion. Okay. It looks like we're good on suggestions for the night. Thank you for submitting the decks, LJL and Quasi Crafter. If you want to watch the full VOD through, it'll be uploaded on the channel. On Wednesday, we're going to be doing a deck review video for these two decks where I will go more in depth, talk about their builds, what they're doing, and give some more in-depth card suggestions once I have time to sit with the deck and look at it. So watch out for that. If you want to submit your own deck for these Friday night deck reviews, you can become a YouTube member or a Patreon member for as low as $1 and gain access to the forum. That's as easy as that. So, if you enjoyed the video, enjoyed the setup, enjoyed the live stream, enjoyed the deck reviews, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you haven't watched today's upload of 10 unique deck concepts, you should check it out. I put a ton of work into that one. There's some really interesting decks on that video. So, that's it for tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed the live stream. Oh, I'm buzzing again. Stop buzzing. I'll see you guys next time. Peace. I'm out of here.